not
super
here today.
professional.
He's not here, so we're gonna have someone make bad decisions for him.
Shouldn't be
But-
too hard.
But he's locked his sheet on D&D Beyond, and I don't really know how to fix it. So that we can, maybe it's under just edit character. I'll change him into a dwarf. That'll be first step.
Everybody remember to rename your characters.
Feet,
Rename your-
multi-class. Oh, there it is. Character privacy. It says public.
I think it's public in the sense, like, so for instance.
Oh, can view.
Yeah. Like I can see, I can go into his and I can go to like features, but I don't even have access to his description or his background. It just doesn't even pop up. So I can see his actions. I can say I'm going to roll, or Pele's going to attack, and then I just manually roll a d20.
Right. Or I can hit the button. You tell me what you want to do.
Or
and
and then you can.
That works too.
Or
it's
Jeff
not
can,
near.
because he said he would play him.
Can you hit the buttons and make it roll? Does Taylor like you more, or does he report to you?
I don't care about who rolls for him. I just want to make the decision. I want to make the bad life choices for him.
All right, so Jeff, you do the bad life choices. David, you roll for him.
That sounds fair. Excellent. We're going to be off to a great start here. So we'll get going then. Hi everyone, welcome to Legion D&D, where the cast and crew from Legion M, or most of them. Well, I mean, there's more, but just play with. Since Taylor's not here, that's all I'm referring to. The world's greatest fan-owned entertainment company cast away their earthly concerns and play Dungeons and Dragons! Taylor still hasn't come up with a theme song, so I'm still doing this.
Has anybody noticed that we have not encountered a dragon or a dungeon yet?
False.
Yes, you're
I've
right.
absolutely noticed that, and so have a lot of my friends. They're like, are you just in dungeons fighting dragons at all times? And I said no.
Technically.
Right. I mean, the name is rather restrictive, but the game can be much broader, obviously.
Oh, we've been in forests and caves.
I would argue that cave was kind of dungeony.
It was kind of dungeony. It wasn't a dungeon. It wasn't. It's clearly its intent, but
I can tell you, there's a lot of fan theories in the chat about exactly this, and discussion and a heated debate over whether it was a cave or a dungeon. So.
Right. So news first. This is really exciting, people. This is really exciting. Our follower rank has climbed up. We are now, and just barely, in the top 2.5 million instead of the top 3 million. So we're really close to it. Basically, if every citizen of Gambia had a Twitch feed, all of them could be in front of us. So
Wow.
that's not that great, but it's better than the top 3 million. So we're getting better. And our average viewer rank, it went up 200,000. So now it's at like 547,000, which is not bad, good, but it's not as bad as it was. Right. So this is really good. Yeah. So so thank you, Twitchers who are twitching with us. We would ask Taylor how he's setting up the social accounts for WonderCon, but we know he hasn't done anything. Mandy last time teased merch for WonderCon, but didn't give any insight into it. Do you have something in the back of your mind, or this was just like, let's just egg Dave on a bit?
There is absolutely something in the back of my mind. It's just not ready to discuss at this point in time.
I guess we just have to roll on.
I'm gonna roll a persuasion check and see if I can change your mind. Terry was gonna send us pictures so we could all pretend we were playing at Terry's house, but she didn't do that. And I thought that would be really cool. Yeah, because instead of somebody getting a LinkedIn profile picture of one of us, they could instead get a wallpaper of Terry's house. So that would be fun. You might want to hide some of the personal stuff, for privacy, but still.
It'd be fun if I had cool walls.
Right.
It's like beige missile. I have beige walls.
Right. I get that. And it's not bad, but it could be better.
Jeff, what's your excuse for not having a background?
Oh yeah, Jeff forgot his background.
Hold on one second.
I think his excuse is age and forgetfulness.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Look at that.
Yeah.
I don't want to see your name or anything on your character stuff.
All right. All
But
right.
he's the monk.
all
Right. The
all
monk.
Here,
We're
just
only
as
how
an
many?
aside, I feel like we should actually dye your hair blue. Like that should be a thing.
Boo.
So your hair
Sure.
looks fantastic.
Oh, I love this. This is like so cool.
It looks fantastic on you, and you know I am down to do that anytime.
Right.
Okay.
How does your computer have the power to give you blue hair but not put in a background?
Exactly. Something's up.
I'm beginning to think that the whole thing is a lie, a sham.
You suspect.
Sam mockery.
Right. Okay, so some questions that were asked of me about decisions made from the DM standpoint, because I think these are often hilarious. So Zancorin's Brazier, I made the point that I didn't really didn't matter what shape it was, as long as it was brass, because my ruling was going to be it was the brass metals mixing with the herb that provided the arcane energy to make his creature, which seemed like, pretty good. But then somebody said, well, couldn't he just burn it in anything and maybe just toss in a couple of brass balls? Okay, that would be fine. Given the way I described it, that's a loophole that, you could potentially do. So yes, you can.
And everybody should carry around at least 2 brass balls.
Everyone should have a pair of brass balls, obviously. Just to help Zancorna. Yes, I should have had Elsa, who Friends was cast on Elsa, get angry after 1 minute. And I could say that I thought she was too engaged and willing to be angry. Or I could say that Contra would have convinced her without Friends, so I just wanted to see how that would play out.
Okay, but I will caveat this. It says on the spell info that the character who's casted on Friends can choose whether to get angry or not.
Right. And I thought because you had a skill set in that would be okay. But the reality is the storyline was so engaging, I just totally forgot. So I'm just going to be,
Okay. Yes. But consent was all the way.
It was all the way there, yeah. And
As long
then
as Elsa doesn't suddenly bring down an ice storm.
Right, I hope not. Yeah. It's already getting to be spring, so it really doesn't matter if the cold bothers her. Now, I also have no idea how much 5 gold pieces of herbs would weigh, but I did a little math for fun. Literally, that's 5 days of work in this era. So I'm not sure they really thought the amount through of what it would be, but if you just did like half incense, half herbs, and I'm assuming incense is more expensive because it normally is, and that herbs usually cost about 79 cents a pound. If you did that today's dollar, just minimum wage earnings of it, that would be 1,500 pounds of herbs in order to cast the spells, plus your incense. And I'm thinking when they wrote that, they really didn't think this through all the way, because that's just a tremendous amount of herbs. But it did give me an idea for Taylor's idea, and that one day when I can't DM or something, we can do a one-shot called Herb Mule, the Raspadal run, and he can, do that whole storyline that he was hopefully doing. And if anyone knows Clint Eastwood, because he played a mule recently, we can see if he would play a character unlike anything else he's ever played before. And that could be a challenge. So,
I think he'd be totally down for that.
I decided to change the game this week. So the question is, the contest is called Guess What Dave Thinks. And then, so you're going to write down your answer in the chat. And then at the end of the show, we're going to pick a winner that can win a signed LinkedIn profile pic of any of us, your choice. So here is the question. Guess what Dave thinks: turkey bacon, food, or lie? So you write down food or lie, and that's your chance of winning. So did we have everyone introduce themselves? Did we forget anyone? Like everyone said what I do at Legion M and how I got into D&D. Did we covered everyone? Yeah, we did. Okay, good. Then I'm going to skip that. And that's good. So
we are all now well known, is what you're saying.
Dave, did you introduce yourself?
I think so.
Ooh.
I talk a lot. I'm sure I have.
I think he was the first person.
I thought I grabbed Mandy for the first.
Oh, you did grab Mandy.
I believe I was the first. So
Yeah.
I feel like it is your turn,
Got
Dave.
it, Dave.
Have I not gone?
Why don't you just assume you haven't gone?
Fine.
Come up with a better thing. Plus, you have a new job, so
Hi.
you're a totally different person.
You're interrupting. Hi, folks. My name's Dave. Nice to meet you. What am I asking? What I do? I actually do nothing with Legion M except I happen to be an investor. And you can go to somebody type in chat where you can learn more about investing. I have no idea where that is. Probably legionm.com.
That would be exactly right.
Right. And you know, and I know that if you sign up for like certain bits, don't you guys sometimes have like rewards that you can get?
Yeah.
I think we should offer the LinkedIn profiles as a potential award, but an actual signed copy.
Yes. Only at like the $5,000 investment level.
I was going 50K, but okay.
I think we should make crypto collectibles. There we like shoot a scene of you doing something dramatic.
I don't do dramatic.
You can actually own that scene.
I really kind of own the whole genre of lame. So this is where I work. So if that's merchable, then let's do that. Okay, so I'm actually in engineering. I run the engineering department for a social media, social influencer marketing company. So that's what I do. I just started there a while ago from another job, but I've been in engineering for decades. And that's what I do. And I got into D&D first playing with my best friend when I was in middle school. And he was the DM, and he was so creative and so fun. We had the best time, and nobody else would play with us. It was just he and I and Pepsi, and that is it. And we had a great time, and we played all the time on different adventures. And he was the dungeon master the whole time. And that is actually the last time I was ever a player, was when I was 13. And then I took a big break from it, and we got playing again. David brought me back into playing with some friends of his, and I was like, oh, I was a player then. Yeah, it was like 3 hours, but it counts. And then I was like, dang it, I really miss this stuff. And then I started doing it. I've been playing a lot more ever since.
I mean, you're just a little shout out. Your dungeon master was Luke Gygax, son of Gary Gygax, the co-creator of the game.
That's right. I didn't want to drop names because I figured you should drop it, but that's
totally
really cool. I actually didn't even know. Yeah.
That's so cool.
I didn't even know who he was. He's like, oh, we're playing with Luke Gygax. I'm like, okay. Do I know who he is? But all the time, I don't really follow most of the people that David mentions to me. Like even like actors and celebrities. He's like, do you know this person? I'm like, no. They were in this film. Okay. And this one? Okay.
You work with influencers. Don't you have to take a quiz or something?
No, the worst thing for me is when I look at do you guys know who the two biggest influencers in the world are? No. Cristiano Ronaldo and Justin Bieber. And when I pull up our website, that's what I see every day.
Wow.
Because we just have that up there as whoever the biggest ones are, and they've been in that lead spot for quite some time. Anyways.
Did not know that.
Anyway, thank you. Oh, also, let's take a time in the chat instead of just having David silently correct my grammar. Let's have everyone publicly correct my grammar, because that would be great fun. So
is there
just
points involved? In
the chat, when I make a grammatical mistake, please feel free to call it out. And if you have any personal insults, those are great too. I always love good personal insults. I'm going to hit play on this because I want to. Here's our background music for our introduction of our storyline, because I wrote it down, right? Okay. You can hear the music. Sound exciting? Does it sound thrilling?
Always.
Beautiful.
Maybe not loud enough?
Indeed.
All right.
It fits it.
Sounds like we could take a nap.
Well, hopefully it gets a little scarier. So I'll just do it this way. All right. The crew, this is way back in the beginning. The crew here, this crew, has been transported from London to Rasfadal in the world of the realms. This is where this all takes place. Their characters have no idea that they were once part of the crew of Legion M. They woke up unaware of how they got to the city of Hoffendal and unaware of their past in our own world here in the realms. They took a job to transport goods to Fend, and along the way they were attacked by ogres, sturges, and goblins. They saved a family of hobbits from an attack and invaded a cave to attempt to rescue the person who hired them, Gundren Rockseeker, who had been whisked away to the legendary castle of ancient Rasfadal called the Crag Maw, the castle of the gaping mouth. They rescued his travel mate, Sildar Hallwinter, but the location of Crag Maw that exists at all is unknown. The last episode, in An Evening in Fend, where there were no battles, but dining and drinking at the Inn of the Southern Woods brought forward new friends and alliances. Benel Thornton and Tura Greywine bonded with Chandra and Tatiana and unveiled a 100 gold piece challenge to dig up some dirt on Albrecht Ricor, the leader of the Red Hand policing unit that had moved into Fend. Chandra met up with Tia Ettermath, and also learned of and saw firsthand members of the Red Hand lounging around the Wandering Oak. She had her wand stolen by Pele, and in turn stole a Night of Passion from him. Zancorin and Rampuri were summarily dismissed by Farben Webster, the town master, and gathered herbs so Zancorin can bring back his familiar, a tiny Valerian hawk named Tanry, and they also found out about a quest to visit a banshee. Farben has a list of quests, but we don't know what they are yet. Rocky mistrusts Sildar. Sildar is married to Toblin. Albrecht and Ricor are old friends. Ricor runs the Red Hand. We know where Trenzendor Manor is, but we're not sure who's in it. We don't know where the Crag Maw is, but we pretty much know who's in there. Lachlan the Brown may know where the Crag Maw is, but we don't know where he is. We don't even know if Mishak Forte exists, but if it does, it has a magic forge and a key that unlocks a powerful amulet. Gundren is still missing, but might know where the mine is. Tatiana just wants to get drunk. Pele just wants to destroy literally any bush. Rampuri sleeps on a bench. Rocky has seen things he can't unsee. Contra gets a girl. Zancorin gets a bird. I just want to drink. And yes, I'll send this list to Contra because she has the keen mind feat. And if the rest of you didn't write it down, it's not my fault. And with that, the sun rises. A nice, cool morning breeze wafts in through the windows. Chandra hears Elsa get out of bed, footsteps going down the hall as the smell of a freshly cooked breakfast wafts up the hallway. And somewhere in the distance, you hear Toblin yell out to the guests that may be staying there, "Breakfast is served!" And the day is in front of you. That's where you guys take over.
All right.
Do stuff.
Well, I didn't sleep a lot, as we know. I had a wonderful night, and after my festivities with Elsa, I studied for quite some time, and then I slept for about 4 hours. So I had a really good night's sleep, and I'm waking up feeling extremely refreshed and ready for whatever today brings.
And studious, yeah, because you had a chance to study some, yeah.
Yes, I did. I studied for, I assume about 4 hours, maybe 5. And then I slept for the remaining 4 hours, however long I slept.
Alrighty. And what are you guys doing?
I'm smelling breakfast, and I need some greasy something. So I am actually going to pop out of bed pretty quickly and run downstairs and be the first to sit at the table so I can have some bread.
All right.
Guten Morgen. I am going to jump out of the bed, do my stretches, and then go downstairs for some breakfast.
I get up and I follow down, get some nice breakfast, and wait for everyone to kind of convene at the table.
And
I'm gonna hang outside on this bench until I hear my people inside, and then I'm gonna go in and join them.
all right. I think we've covered everyone. And Taylor, what room was Taylor in? I can't remember.
He's in a room with the monk, I think, right?
No, Monk slept outside, so Taylor was actually
that's right.
sleeping by himself. So he also follows you guys downstairs. And he is sitting in the breakfast room.
Taylor.
Huh?
Somebody was with Taylor. Maybe
Yeah.
Tatiana.
Oh, Terry was. That's right.
Yeah, I think I bumped with him.
He's like, you know what I'm gonna do, Terry? I'm gonna try to steal some butter.
Good
So
job.
That
He's
was good.
already got a mindset to try to stealth some butter, from the little pat, maybe put it in his pocket. I'm not really sure what, but, as he says, the rogue is tricky. You never know what he's going to do. All right, so you guys are downstairs. Toblin visits you, swings by, and puts plates in front of you. It's just sort of a standard bit, eggs and sausages and some breads and some little butters, which have caught the eye of Pele. And so breakfast is served.
everybody.
We eat.
I
Go ahead.
Rob. Okay. I kind of had an epiphany that I think might be a good one. I wanted to get everyone's opinion, but I'm obviously a bard. I know how to, entertain, and we have, from the discussions, I guess you could say a kind of side quest of sorts to figure out what these Red Hand people are doing here, and I think we could persuade them to come to almost a concert at that bar that they frequent, and I can try to get as many of them there as possible in honor of them, and hopefully that will bring some of the guards at the manor there as well. It will be kind of like a celebratory Red Hand Day or something, and then the others who are, maybe more sneaky, Pele, could go and search for the stuff. What say you all?
Well, it's a pretty good idea, but I am interested in what Sildar has to say about his business partner, because we do have some information that indicates that we go to the northern part of the forest. There are some ruins, and those ruins might be that gaping maw.
Lachlan the Brown might be at those ruins.
Yeah.
Well, the last time we met him, I know he was going into the forest, and I remember, I remember exactly what I said, which is I would like to go and help him in the forest, and I was turned down and told that that was a really bad idea. So
we don't need your attitude this morning. It's a little early, but
I'm just gonna throw that out that I haven't been wrong yet. So that's just my plan.
Wait a second, you got some special power you ain't telling us about?
Nothing special. I just I guess you could say I have a keen mind of sorts.
Keen mind, huh?
So that's kind of.
Oh wait, I'm supposed to be nice to you today. I forgot. You did tell me that Pele stole my wand, so you get a bit of a pass today, but tread lightly.
I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
So I do think that I also agree with that, Rocky. I think we definitely should go to those ruins. But I also think that this town, just from what I'm hearing about the Red Hand, could be in jeopardy in some way. And they've treated us very well. So I would be happy to do both.
Confusing then, because if Sildar's working with them, and yet we were working for Sildar, does that make us culpable? Maybe we should just worry about the dwarf.
Well, and that's kind of what I'm wondering, because I don't know if Sildar actually knows what's going on. I think he might be being fooled by his so-called friend, and that's why I'm really curious about what information is in that manor.
Well, you guys, I don't remember if I told. No, I do remember. I did not tell you about this yesterday, but Tia told me that Sildar seems fine. That he seems like an okay guy. But she also said that she's not sure. So he might be a little off. He might be a big fat liar and we don't know it.
Well, I'd like to talk to him just to find out how anxious he is to get his business partner back.
So just at this moment, Sildar comes downstairs. He's looking very disheveled. He's totally got bedhead and, still looks a little dirty from crashing the night before. After all the injuries that he dealt with. He comes down the stairs and Toblin looks up and sees him and is like, Sildar, I told you to clean up before you come in the breakfast room. And he goes running up to him and starts like moving his hands and looking like he's casting spells. And those that are somewhat aware see like a mage hand come out and start neatening his hair. And you see all that dust come off of him and his clothes get magically cleaned and he gets neatened up and he looks, he still looks a little tired, but at this point he's like been completely groomed magically. He looks like he should be on the cover of Castle and Lords magazine if they had one of those at this time. And he just looks fantastic. And Toblin's like, that's better. We should do this up in the room though. And he comes downstairs, and now he's looking pretty good, and he's the silver fox that he is. And
side note, how is he able to do that?
Make an Arcana check.
Magic.
I'm very good at this, apparently.
Maybe. We'll find out.
Let's see. Oh, apparently. Okay, it's fine. 12.
12. You recognize some of the spells that he did. The Mage Hand you've seen, sort of a spectral type of hand that can follow someone's bidding. He was actually able to have like 2 of them going at the same time, which was kind of interesting. You're not really sure what some of the other ones were, but they seemed like kind of a mastery of lower level spells that he was able to do.
Did he tell us that he was a wizard or
No,
anything?
you know, he's still in the room. You can ask him. It piques your interest.
Hey, Sildar. How you feeling today? Looking good, buddy.
I'm feeling a little bit better. Thanks for asking. How was your evening?
It was splendid. Thank you for asking this one. How'd you just do that? Where did you learn to do magic?
Oh, that wasn't me. That was Toblin.
Goblin.
Yeah, he well, yeah, I guess he when he was younger, he wanted to be a wizard, and he did some studying of it, but then he got captivated with hospitality, and he and his brother opened the Inn of the Southern Woods, and he does the front side, and his brother does the back. But he's been mastering some spells that are, I don't know, like personal care spells. So he can clean thing and blow puffs of wind, and he's mastered it in such a way that he can basically just, get you all cleaned up for an event if you need it. And we've used it here sometimes. He'll charge the guests for it, and if they're in a hurry and don't want to take a bath. And then a couple of times we've gone to Huffendal on just sort of a getaway, and if we go out on the evening, he gets us all fancy. He does a great job with it. He can actually do a really good. My hair's fairly long. He can do a good job braiding it, but not here. Just throw it over my shoulder here and so.
Interesting. Thank you very much, and you do look lovely. So.
Oh, thank you. He does a great job. It's all him. I have no sense of style.
That actually reminds me, and I do this and go aspere and press a dissertation on myself, so I kind of comb up and clean up myself.
Clean up yourself a little bit better, yeah. So you've gotten all the dirt off of you. You're not really styling the hair so much, but you are clean, which is good. So
I'd like to take this opportunity to kind of
good enough. Excellent.
Have we, and remind me, team, outside of being conjured, did we ask Sildar yet if he knows anything about the Red Hand?
No, he was recovering.
Yeah, he was asleep.
Okay, let's ask him about the Red Hand, because he's supposed to be like connected.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Is Sildar coming to join us, or?
You can wave him over. I mean, you guys were just talking. I think he was looking for a seat, but you can ask him to join.
Sildar, come join us. We're just having breakfast. Lovely, lovely breakfast. This is fantastic.
Well, all right. Sounds good. Toblin, I'm gonna join them. All right.
Toblin, you can come too. I know you have an inn to run, but...
Oh, thank you so much. I'm busy silvering the customers, but thank you so much for inviting me. Maybe in some downtime.
Absolutely.
Usually around 2-3 o'clock it slows down for me.
If we're here.
We're not going to be here.
Got stuff to do.
Yeah, you had a spa day yesterday, so
We did.
Pretty much.
So Zildar, what's you're feeling a little better today?
I am. Thank you for asking. I just needed some rest. Those goblins took quite a bit out of me, so it's nice to come back home and settled in.
Yeah, this is...
Then we're all very curious on the thoughts about your business partner and whether you think we should be focusing our energies on getting him.
Well, obviously, I think the most important thing is to find out where he is. Where is the Crag Maw? I, for one, I think like many folks here, thought it was a myth, so I'm not certain where it is. But and I've never bothered to ask anyone. Why would you ask about a mythical place if you're trying to be a respectable person? But apparently, it may not be. So I'm not certain who to find out about. I was thinking of maybe going over and asking Farbin if he knows anything at the Townmaster's Hall. Other than that, I can't think of. The only other person I can think that would know anything about it might be Tia Edelmath, who lives on the outskirts of town. She's an elf. She's one of our oldest citizens, so if anyone's heard of it, it's probably her.
Yeah, we actually met her yesterday, Sildar.
Oh, did you?
Lovely woman. Yeah, she's absolutely lovely. She let us know that it's also a myth to her. She's not sure where that might be. She's heard about it in stories. But have you ever heard of Lackland the Brown? You know Lackland the Brown?
Lackland the Brown. No, should I? Is he? Who is he? What?
Kind of an odd dude we met a while back. Yeah, she said that you may know something, but yeah, a druid that
I've not heard of him. No, I don't know many druids. Most of my work has taken me to towns, and druids notably shy away from urban settings. They much prefer the woods, or the fields, or the meadows. You know, some sort of place out. They come in obviously for supplies, things like that. But I don't know of whom you speak.
Go ahead.
So, and when I ask this, I am specifically looking for any kind of flinching weirdness, kind of any potential deception or lie here. But, you know, I was hearing that there's these guards, some kind of color. I think the red hand, is that it? I don't know, but they've been here for a while, right? They might know. Do you know anyone who's there who might know about Cragmaw or anything like that, or why they're here?
So I'm going to answer, and then you'll roll a check, an insight check. I was out of town for a decent amount of time in Hoffendal, chasing down a few things when I met up with Gundren. I know you referred to him as my business partner, but I had really only met Gundren when he and his brothers came to town maybe 9 months ago or so, and then I've interacted with them a bit. He went up to Hoffendal and asked me to ride with him on the way back, because I had told him I was running up there a few months afterwards, and we met up at the Howling Hound. Actually, we met up a few days before I ran into you there, but so we headed back from there. So I had been out of town for at least 3 months. I mean, from today going backwards. I'm not familiar with exactly. It's the Red Hand. Toblin caught me up last night. It appears to be something that Albrecht, who is a dear friend of mine, I've worked with him for years, has established. But I'll be honest, I don't exactly know the reason. Knowing Albrecht, he's very bright. He probably sensed some need to establish some form of authority in town, to keep order and to slowly introduce the concept of authority in a town that wasn't based in Rasfadal. I actually work for the Rasfadalian government, and my job is to help settle areas like this. And Albrecht and I have worked together in the past. I have to say I've not known him to do anything like this before, but he's continually surprising on what he decides to do. I'm eager to meet up with him and find out what it's all about, to be perfectly honest. Go ahead and roll an insight check.
All right.
Wait, I have a very high insight. So should I? Does that?
We always let no more than 2 rolls, so you can each roll.
All right.
Ooh.
17 for me.
23 for me.
23. All right. You sense that he's seems to be largely telling the truth. He doesn't seem to be holding anything back. Rocky can kind of guess he's not giving the entire story, but not in a deceptive way. Just it's probably a long story, and he's trying to Reader's Digest it for everyone just to kind of get the parts that matter. But he does seem to be forthright. You don't think that he really knows what the Red Hand is.
And I don't mean to sound insensitive at all. You know, I absolutely trust that you know what you're doing and such. But do you it seems like you may not know Alberact very well. Do you know if he's very trustworthy? And the only reason I ask is I've heard some possible misgivings of people around town, of potential things that may not be forthright or good. And I just want to make sure that you know everything. And
yeah, well, I've worked with him for decades, on and off. I've always found him to be highly trustworthy. And as far as things in town, you know, you have to understand the task that I am asked to do is quite difficult. Imagine that you were part of an independent town like Fend, inside of another country, but you've sort of distanced yourself from them. When that country steps in and says, hey, we need to integrate you, there's a lot of resistance. A lot of people that seemed like regular townsfolk now become very angered and can spread lies and rumors. I'm not saying that I can always blame them. I understand their perspective. I found the best way to sort of build this is to build trust and an allegiance, and explain what the benefits are of coming under the banner of Asphodel, especially with the dangers that are coming up out of the south. You know, countries go to war and change alliances all the time, and this part of Asphodel is probably the most dangerous. But you know, people don't always see that. They don't understand. They don't have the information that I have working for the government. So it doesn't surprise me that some people have some animosity to anything that might be done to sort of bring Fend under control. But again, I've been gone for 3 months, so I'm a little hazy on any specifics that you might be talking about.
Well, there's one thing I don't quite understand yet. What interest would the Rosfidalian government have in taking control of Fend? What does Fend have that Rosfidal wants?
I'm not. Roll a persuasion check.
15.
He says, it's a good question. A lot of it is location. You know, we are in the boundaries of Asphodel. We're not going into another country. And with the dangers growing out of the south, this is this whole strip along the bottom connects the eastern shore of Asphodel with the Great Vale. And if this expanse were to fall into the wrong hands, under control of maybe an enemy country, that would put us at a distinct strategic disadvantage. So being able to have the support of the locals, and if necessary, God hope it's not, but if necessary, to be able to bring in the military to help defend this area and not have to fight internally as well would be key to protecting all the citizens of Asphodel. So it's a geopolitical game.
Do I believe him?
Roll an insight check.
17.
You think his answer's pretty thorough, and doesn't seem to be hiding anything. You almost kind of felt like you were talking to a professor for a minute there. But he does seem forthright. He's not hiding anything, but you can tell.
Okay. Zincorin, did you visit the Andy forgot the name of it. The temple. Did you visit the temple in town?
I visited the Shrine of Luck.
The Shrine of Luck. Yes, you did. So did you see anything in there that was odd?
Well,
anything out of the ordinary?
I did talk to the Shrine's Keeper, and she's the one who Sister. I know I have her name. Is this Sister Geral, I believe.
Close enough. Sister Garael.
Garael, that's right. And she's the one who actually gave us the potential quest of going to give this silver comb to the Banshee.
Okay, interesting. Are you guys feeling like there's something possibly here in Fend or something? Here's what I think. I'm actually, guys, I'm very convinced at this point we need to go and find out what the town master knows. We need to do that.
I do agree with that. Sildar, that was great information. We really appreciate it. I know being in the government, it's very important to have the right answers, but also to be truthful. Everything you said was very helpful for us, because we do want to make sure we find Gundren and help the townsfolk as much as possible. Actually, I will be right back. Rocky, can you come help me for a second? I want to get everybody drinks. I don't want to disturb Toblin and whatnot. I'll just go to the bar and we can just bring the drinks back.
Sure thing. Happy to.
Seems sneaky. I'm just saying, it seems a little sneaky. Okay. So you guys go to the bar and ask the barkeep if you can grab some stuff, I'm assuming, but
yeah.
I think you have ulterior motives.
As always. Hey, Rocky, I really believe Sildar here. I don't think he's... I think, if anything, Alberact is being deceptive, and that makes me even more curious about what's going on in that manor. I also agree, I think, I absolutely agree with Khandra, which is strange to say, that we do need to talk to the owner of the tavern, but I think we have an opportunity to ask Sildar to convince Alberact and his team to come to that performance that I was recommending so we can get that information. Maybe we can do both. Maybe we can do that tonight and talk to the... what's his name? I'm already forgetting.
The town master?
Yeah, to Farbin. And figure out what he knows, and then figure out what the best course of action is in terms of the Banshee, or go north, or what have you. What do you think?
I think it's a good idea.
All right.
I do think that taking on a Banshee might be could be devastating, so I would like to try the other things first.
Do you think the others would agree? I want to tell them, but I don't want to obviously let Sildar know in our plan. Like, I don't want to just say, hey, this is what we're doing, and then not have everyone's input. But do you think you can tell the others, maybe through whispers, while we have just regular discourse throughout the meal?
I can try, but I don't know what the other people are going to hear and what they're not going to hear. So.
Yeah. All right.
You guys look over your shoulder just as Toblin is having some firm words with Pele, and Pele is sheepishly taking butter back out of his pocket and putting it on the table. I tried to have him steal it. I rolled a natural 1, so this is what he gets.
Oh, wait.
Shame.
Put that back.
Huh?
Pele, put that back. Put that back and do not take out Lucky.
I just thought it'd be handy. You never know when butter would be important.
That's amazing.
Okay.
And then we'll get the drinks and bring it back.
All right. All right. So Sildar's like, thank you so much for enjoyed your company this morning. I've got a couple of errands myself. I've got to run next door to talk to Farbin and a couple of other things. So if you don't mind, good morning. Have a wonderful day.
You too. We might see you there. We're going to be talking to Farbin as well, I think.
Absolutely. Sounds great. He gets it from the table. He walks out the front door.
I
Guys,
would like
one of us go with him. He has a good relationship with the town master. Doesn't it seem silly not to like tag along?
I actually
Go ahead. I was gonna go, but if you want to go.
Well, I actually agree with that, but I wanted to ask everyone here and give him.
I'm done with this. I'm following him over there. I'm sorry, that's what Pele would do. Pele gets up and he walks out the door behind somebody.
Okay. All right. Good.
I just wanted to give him a beat for a second, but I think we can do two things. That's what I was talking to Rocky, but this is fortunate that Sildar actually just left. But I think we have an opportunity here to get Sildar to convince Albarak to have the Red Hand come for a celebratory whatever we want to call it, in honor of them, and also have people like Pele and whoever else is kind of sneaky go in and find out why they're here. And we should also, Chandra, I think your idea was brilliant, go over to Farbin and talk to him, and we can do that now with Sildar, so Sildar can give us a good word. So,
totally
what do we think?
Get what you're saying, Zancoran, and I accept. I will sing at your celebration.
Yeah, I think I'm one of the most stealthy. Obviously, the monk should come, and God help me for saying this, but we should also bring Pele.
I think that's a good idea. I don't know. I mean, I'm very stealthy myself, but obviously someone needs to entertain.
Did Pele already go though? Did he already?
Oh yeah,
sneak out
he
and follow
walked
him?
out the door. Totally.
Okay, good.
I say we should go after Pele, make sure he doesn't screw anything up. And
Oh, he will.
exactly.
No. We're gonna screw it up because Pele's really sneaky. Let him go. Let him be sneaky and find out what's going on.
He's going over to the town master. He's going to Farbin.
Is he gonna be okay? So is he gonna be sneaky about it, or is he going to?
No,
You have no idea.
Yeah.
He already left.
Yeah,
It's broad
He just
daylight.
left. He's just going over. He's just following Sildar. Yeah.
He will screw it up.
Yes. So let's go. And I will.
The monk doesn't say much, but here.
But I think I'll tell Sildar that we're gonna do a celebratory thing for the Red Hand and see if we can convince him. And let's go talk to the town master. Good.
All right.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah. I would like to, before we walk out, I'm gonna give one final. I don't know how many people are in the inn right now.
Just really the people who spent the night there, and not even a whole lot of them. There's a couple over in the corner, a little halfling couple that are just chatting with each other, sort of middle-aged, curly hair. You know.
Okay, I'm gonna give one last college try. So I stand up and I say to the whole place, does anyone know where Cragmaw is? Not the myth. Does anyone know where Cragmaw is? I'll give you this halfling. If you tell me where Cragmaw is.
I walk out.
Take that deal.
I just walk out.
Go ahead and roll a persuasion check.
Halflings simply eat too much.
16.
16. The couple in the corner sort of looks up at you a little bit, and then they just sort of kind of turn their backs a bit and act like you're a little bit of an annoyance, and goes back to enjoying their breakfast.
Cool. So then
Kind of gives you that look like, don't trust them.
Well, I'm very unfazed because I don't give two craps what anyone thinks about me. So...
I don't think the actual Mandy does either.
No, not at all.
No.
When you're this short, okay, or as tall as Chandra, you don't care.
Yeah.
All right, so before I leave, I go up to Elsa and I whisper.
Elsa's not there.
Elsa's gone.
No.
Oh,
Yeah, she
okay.
snuck out. Presumably went to wherever she lives. Who knows?
Fine. Well, before she left, I definitely gave her a sweet kiss goodbye. I hope, but anyway, I follow everybody out.
Perfect.
That's it.
All right. So as you guys come outside, you don't see anyone because you took so gosh darned long to figure out what you guys were going to do. So the courtyard in front in Fend is, or the town square is empty. You do see some people milling about, but not Sildar and Pele. But it does look as though the town master's hall is open across the way. So you guys can head there.
I start heading there.
All right. So you get there, you open the door, ding ding. You go inside. It's like got wide planked hardwood floors, and it's almost like a bank in that it's got a center area with a whole bunch of seats lined up and a desk at the counters all the way around, but none of them are open. There's just like one counter where you can recognize Farben that's there, and he's currently talking with Sildar. And you look around for Pele, and Pele is just sitting kind of in the back pretending to be stealthy, but there's no real place to hide, so he's just watching as you guys come into the place. And Farben is in a conversation with Sildar, and just as you come in, you see this paper bird flutter pretty quickly over your shoulders in through the door, and it lands up against the counter where Sildar is talking. And as it hits the counter, it bangs into the counter above and falls down in his lap, and right in front of him. You see Sildar, kind of as surprised, opens it and picks it up, and he says a few words and slides across the table to the counter to Farben, who looks at it and goes off and gets some paperwork and starts to fill some stuff out, and that's it. And then he turns around and starts walking back out towards you guys. Oh, I see you've made it. Good news. I was able to get a reward authorized for finding Gundren. Rasfadol is willing to pay 500 gold pieces to anyone that can rescue him. Farben has got all the details, so you may want to ask him about how that's going to roll out. But if that's something that you guys want to take up, feel free. That would be fantastic. I'm going to do some research and see if I can find if his brothers have made it to town. Maybe get some input from them. So I'll see you later.
Absolutely. Just one other thing, actually, Sildar.
Yes. Sure.
Seeing that you're good friends with Albrecht, and me being a bard, I thought we could kind of help each other out here. And one way that we help each other, or I think is a great way to bring people together, is through celebration. So I thought, why not have a kind of huge celebration of performance and maybe a feast with the Red Hand and the townsfolk.
I'm sorry, what are we celebrating?
The Red Hand and the townsfolk just kind of coming together, and you could convince Albrecht and his Red Hand to come to the tavern, whichever one, and I can do some performances. I can make some I make a killer ale, I would say.
Roll a persuasion check.
19.
19. Okay. Sildar is like, well, really don't have time to think this completely through. But for starters, I told you I don't really know exactly who the Red Hand is. I've been told they're working with Sildar. Sildar, when I left, was staying at the Inn of the Southern Wood, but now I'm not certain where he's staying. So I can't even talk to him. So I've got to do a little bit of hunting about to find out where he is, so I can have a conversation with him. Granted, I just got in last night, so I haven't had much of a chance, but I was planning to go ask around with a couple of merchants and see if maybe he's talked to Enomart over at Barthin's, or Tura over at Lion Shield. Just try to figure out what's been going on in my leave to find out what's happening. So they sound like a great idea. Maybe we could catch up tonight. If are you still staying another night next night at the Inn of the Southern Wood? Because obviously I live there, so perhaps we can talk tonight.
Yeah, I think we're
excellent. All right.
We're thinking of different things to do, like trying to find where Cragmaw is, and I know sister, the sister at the shrine.
Ah, yes, the unlucky one. Yeah.
She requested some assistance of us, so we might see if we can assist her.
All right,
just try to help the people out. But yes, I would love
well,
that.
there's always a list of odd jobs that Farben manages for the town. So if anyone has something that needs to be done, he manages organizing people, getting them signed up, getting them paid if successful, etc., etc. So you can talk to him, and he can fill you in on any other details, any other challenges that the city is helping, that somebody has offered up some coin to solve. So
Yeah,
best of luck, and I will talk to you guys this evening.
And can you just shout out at Farben that we're cool? Because we ran into him. He seemed pretty flustered last night, and I just want to make sure.
Have you met Farben?
I briefly for.
Yeah, but does he strike you as the person who thinks anyone is cool?
Good point.
Enough said. Good luck. Talk to you later.
Thank you.
And he heads off.
I guess off to Farben then. To find out what's going on.
All right. So you guys head up to the counter, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
All right. So you head up to the counter. You don't quite see him, and then he comes up and looks at you, and he's like, you'll need to take a number. And you see off to the side, there's a little stack of numbers. It's currently on number 2. So
I pick up a number.
All right.
And I hand it to Zancorin.
I grab the number and show it to him.
And 1 second. And he walks around the corner to sort of the center of the counter in the back, and then you see that he's stepped up on a stool, and he yells out as loud as he possibly can, "Number 2." And he comes back down and takes his place behind the counter.
I walk up, hand him over.
Yes, can I help you?
Hi, we're new in town. I love the town, actually. I think you're doing an excellent job. And we heard that you had some lists of tasks that could be done.
Yes, we keep a town work board that you're able to perhaps take some tasks from, and generally there is a party, perhaps the city itself or individuals in town who will compensate you for it. The first, I have not written it down yet on the board, but apparently there is a gentleman missing named Gundrin Rockseeker at a place called the Cragmaw. Not certain where that is, but they're offering a hefty 500 gold pieces, which is the most we've ever offered. There are also orcs on the Fend Trail. They're stopping our expansion of the trail, and we need somebody to get rid of those. We will pay 100 gold pieces for that. And then there have been reports of the undead stalking some ruins on the other direction towards Fing, on the Fend Trail. Any of those you are welcome to pick up and take the challenge on. I can walk you through the process if you would like.
As he's talking, I nudge Pele in the side really hard because I assume he's laughing under his breath very loud.
I can hear him. I can hear him on chat. So yeah.
Well, lots of evil to defeat, that's for sure. I'm up for all of those things.
I would agree. I think those things are needing to be done. And you said you don't know where the Cragmaw is. Do you know who might know, or do you know anyone who has history of, or the most history or books that might serve that purpose of where this Cragmaw might be?
I do not.
What about this druid? Do you know where this druid is?
I am not certain who you were talking about. You will have to use something more than pronouns.
What's his name? What's his name?
I do not know who you were talking about.
Lachlan?
Lachlan. I do not know a Lachlan.
Alright.
I can check the registry to see if a Lachlan is registered.
No,
it will take but an hour.
That is fine, thank you. And then, did we have any other questions for
So
him?
what is the process if we're going to take on any of these jobs?
Well, you will have to sign a contract in order to perform the services. All services are paid upon completion, and you will have to fill out this form in a quadruplicate. So we have a copy, one for you, one for the town, one for the finance office, and one for the archives. There are, let's see, 6 of you, so you will need to make 24 copies. Alternatively, you can organize as a DBA and use an assumed name and only fill it out once. Do you guys operate as a business unit?
You could say that.
What is
This
he
is
talking-
really tiring.
I
think he's trying to cast this a lot.
Might I ask you what your name is? And I will write it down in this form.
One second. I think we should come up with a group name, guys. What are we called?
The Avengers.
We're.
how about
I mean, I like
Hold on, that's legal on the phone. Let me get that.
sapphires.
Yeah, no.
Sapphires are cool.
How about the Super Six?
Okay, you know what? While y'all are talking about names for our group here, hi, my name is Condra. It's really nice to meet you.
It's
I gotta
nice
put
to
your
meet
wave on.
you. Yes.
Hey. So, lots of questions for you. So many questions. First of all, if you don't know who Gundren is, why would you be offering the most money you've ever offered for anyone before? Why would you do that?
That gentleman that just left, Mr. Halwinter, Lord Halwinter, works for the government, and he apparently just received a communique from the government of Rasfadal authorizing that the government would pay a 500 gold piece reward. So I would not pay that, nor would the city, since I really don't know who he is. But for some reason, he has been deemed an important person. So
Don't know why. No idea why.
I
Or so
have
what you're
no
saying.
idea. I have no idea why. You might perhaps ask Sildar. My job is to process the paperwork and make the posting valid for contractual reasons.
Yeah, our job is to get
Yeah.
them money. Let's get it. Let's get the dwarf and the cash.
Well, I can get you some information on all of them. The sea orcs, like I said, are on the way back to the coast road. That's at least where they've been marauding. What else did I mention? Obviously, the Guntar, and then the haunted ruins, I suppose, are on the other
haunted
direction.
ruins or undead haunting the ruins?
Oh, well, let me look at it. Let's see. It says, let's see, disturbingly, several prospectors reported being chased from the undead, in 2-day march. Yep. Find out what they're up to. Yeah, Watchtower, Magical Empire, probably Almara, most likely. And that they are not offering any money, but they do believe that there are some treasures up there.
I'm sorry. Can you just repeat what you just said just one more time?
Oh
Just
yeah,
one more time.
okay. The prospectors chased from the undead, 2-day walk. Find out up to
Undead.
Old Watchtower.
Watchtower.
Magical Empire.
Magical Empire.
Probably Amara. Yeah, that was pretty much what I said.
Amara is a 2-day walk from here.
Elmara?
Yes, it's the
Amara.
country south of us. Well, there's several countries actually, depending on which direction you're facing, but it is the one closest to the coast and immediately adjacent to where we are now. Apparently, they're rather perturbed at our government.
Why?
Interesting. Why?
I don't know. I'm just the town master. I handle the paperwork.
So, I think, I don't know about you, to everyone, but I'm kind of interested in those Watchtower ruins. I don't recall where Sister Geral, I always forget her name.
Garael.
Garael. I have to change that.
Kind of think Superman type name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I cannot know.
Superman is a property of DC Comics, used without permission, but not in such a way as to infringe on what they're talking about.
Sister Garael said that there was her quest for the Banshee. I don't recall where that was, but we could go ask her. Maybe it's the same place or it's near. But
Do you think the undead could be a banshee?
or at least it's ruins. So maybe if it's not Cragmaw, which I doubt, but it might have some kind of, something that will let us, lead us to the right location. Because if it's a ruin, then it's old. If it's old, it might have.
You You know, the something something, it could be a clue.
That's the word I was thinking, and I just couldn't remember it. Thank you, Tatiana.
Wait, something or clue?
The clue.
Ah, got it.
A clue of some sort that could lead us to Cragmaw.
Well,
we should name our group the Legion of Lightstorm people.
I was considering Zancorn's Legion, actually.
Yeah, that's not gonna work for me.
Okay, so Tatiana Lightstorm Legion.
you
How
guys
about the
are
Silent
having a
Legion?
very difficult time moving through the paperwork. We do offer a weekly community clinic on handling all the forms available at the Town Master's Hall. It's at 7 o'clock p.m. every Thursday.
That sounds riveting, but I'll pass. Thanks.
It really is. You know, bureaucracy is the engine of civilization.
That's great. Zancorn, can you just handle the paperwork, please? Got
Sure.
this, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, cool. So, hey again. Hi. Let me ask you a question. Are you a good guy or a bad guy? What would you consider yourself?
I'm not really sure what you're up to. Should you be rolling some sort of persuasion check?
I don't know.
Okay,
Tempting to use my charm.
Yes, I've never really considered it. I suppose following the letter of the law seems like a good thing to me, so I suppose I would be a good person.
Oh, sweet. That's good. Do you know who these Red Hand people are?
Yes, they were hired by Albrecht Ricor to help bring order and civilization to the town and make sure we don't run into any troubles from invading people or from people inside the town that may be up to no good.
Wow, that sounds really important. But, being the town master, you should probably know what people are up to no good. Is there anybody in particular you're concerned about?
Well, we don't have a police force. That's why when Albrecht recommended this arrangement, I thought it would work really well.
Were you having problems before?
Well, being prudent is pretty smart. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure.
Oh, that's nice.
Actually, saying that, Condra, I don't remember the person's name, but I remember overhearing somebody missing. Do you remember who that was? Do you know anything?
Of course, Condra remembers it. But
Condra does, because Condra is so darn smart.
Mandy does not remember it. DM, can you please help Mandy?
Mandy recalls that
Condra, yeah.
Eldendrar has disappeared. And actually, no one has seen his family for the last couple of days, but that's not unusual. They kind of live on the outskirts of town.
Okay. Zancorin, it was Eldendrar. He hasn't been seen for a couple days, him and his family.
Farbin, do you know anything about Eldendrar or where is
Eldendrar? Yes, I can. Yes, he's a citizen in town. I believe he's a local wood carver. Carves wood for a living.
Okay, and
does excellent work.
Have you heard where he might be, or where he lives, and where he's gone?
Well, I mean, he lives on the outskirts of town, but I have not heard much about him. I really don't get around too much socializing with the citizens. I generally work my job and go home and sit down in front of a nice glass of port.
Okay, guys. We're in the town master's office right now, right?
Yeah.
Right. All right.
Yes.
I'm going to turn to everybody.
Wait, are you talking to me or are you talking to me?
That was like a side note. So,
oh, I'm sorry.
We're back.
I'll just go about my business. Call me if you need me. And he
So
starts wandering around, working with
kind
paperwork.
of getting everybody in. Guys. Yeah. Can someone distract him? And then I'll go back there and see what I can find. See if he's lying, see if there's anything that he's not telling us. And just rifle through some stuff, but someone needs to distract him.
How good are you at sneaking around? Not to say that I don't think you're not good, but if someone should go around sneaking, it should probably be someone who's good at sneaking.
Who's best at sneaking? Pele.
Pele, Rocky.
I'm the best at sneaking around. What do you want me to find?
Okay, Zancorin, can you help me distract him so that Pele can go sneak around?
What is he looking for? I don't know. I don't
Anything,
think Farbin
anything.
has anything. He just is a paperwork pusher.
Yeah, but the paperwork should say something. There should be something in the paperwork about something.
I think the only paperwork that matters is the Red Hands paperwork, and that's the one.
Where is that?
At the manor, which is why I want to do the.
Okay, fine. But if we miss something here, it's on you.
Absolutely, I agree. But I think, what do you guys think about going to the watchtower? I think that might be the best place to start, or the Banshee. One of those two, I think, would be the best.
Is there
Wait on the Banshee.
that we can ask the Banshee?
I mean,
It's a dangerous creature. I think we should take on some other things first. Get some more experience.
That's not a bad idea either. I think the goal is to convince the Banshee, and once we convince the Banshee to kill it, so we do need that experience to make sure we're ready for it. But I do think doing the watchtower might just be the best option, because it sounds like it's going to take a day or two for Sildar to convince Alberact to hold this festival. I mean, the other option is go for the orcs, but to me, that's just something that is going to be nice to do at a later point.
Well, but the orcs might be in league with the goblins. They might know where the Cragmaw is.
That is a good point. I didn't consider that. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I like to take out the orcs. That would be my choice. But I do want to find out what's going on in that keep. So once
the orcs seem like a side quest, y'all. Like it's gonna distract us. I think we need to get to the watchtower.
But
you never know.
Rocky has a good point, because the goblins typically align themselves with orcs, and if they took Gundren, the orcs might know. But then if they didn't, and the orcs are just doing their own thing, we can always just go to the watchtower as well to look for a clue. But we can interrogate. We just need to keep someone alive this time that actually knows information, so we have to try to figure that out.
I don't know, you guys. Goblins and orcs are not intelligent creatures, and so if all of these people are not going,
orcs are pretty intelligent.
Orcs can be very.
Goblins aren't, but orcs.
Other stories they're not. But point being, if all of these humans and other people, even my elf friend does not know where Cragmaw is, then why are some orcs going to know? I think we need to get to the watchtower.
What are you talking about? The evil ones are the ones who are going to Cragmaw, so they're not spreading it around unless somebody's got a knife against their throat. No, I really think we need to take on things that we can take on.
Well, we might be able to take on undead skeletons and zombies if that's all.
Plus, I could use some money to get a little bit better armor, because my armor's not very good. I need to get at least another 50 gold. Get a chain shirt or something.
Oh.
I'm just kind of running around in the wind with leather.
Well, there's no reward for going to the ruins. It's a 2-day walk there.
Yeah, I want to kill some orcs. Get some cat.
He did say for the old well, he had said that they're not offering any rewards, but there's been a rumor that there's been magical items and other items that have been stashed up there, but they don't know what's actually there. So
many choices. It's a veritable cornucopia of death and destruction.
Why don't we do this? I think, Monk, you think ruins? Why don't we go to the ruins first? Let's take the orcs.
Did he just nod? He just nodded.
No, he said ruins.
Okay, okay. Just check.
One word.
One word, he said.
Yeah, let's go ruin ourselves.
Let's do the ruins first, then let's do the orcs. And then from there we can see if we want to do the banshees, and we might have enough information between the 2 of them, or 3 of them, to figure out where Cragmaw is.
Yeah, or we could just go north in the forest and try to find the druid. That's where he was going.
But that's another 3-4 days or longer. we would have to travel because that's back to basically where we started. We're already here.
Fine. As long as okay, let's get someplace close. But I have no problem going through the forest. That's where I'm most comfortable.
This is all a crapshoot. Tatiana, as my ally.
Tatiana's snap camming it.
Go to the ruins. They're gonna be awesome. There are magical objects there. We will all be very, very happy. And if there aren't, hopefully none of us die doing it.
Well,
Okay.
if somebody dies, hopefully it's the right one.
Yeah. I need to make a pit stop.
Everything, Corin.
Hopefully it's Pele.
I do need to get some mistletoe.
And
I am not kissing you, Rocky.
Not for kissing. For making good berries.
what do you all think of, just as a quick aside, the Legion's Key as a group name?
Oh, what's the key got to do with it?
We would be the key to unlocking good around the realm, and just making sure everything is good. I don't know. I'm just trying to come up with a name so we don't have to sign 24 different things.
How about this, the Legion of Death to Evil?
That just sounds lame.
How about we name our group Whoomp, Here We Are?
I'm gonna call us the Fab Six.
I'm in for Whoomp,
Five and Pele.
all in.
5 and Pele? Fab 5 and Pele?
Okay, that's also good. Fab 5 and Pele is pretty
I
good.
don't know. I'm trying to be a rogue and sneaky. You can't call the group after me. Everyone will know. How would I sneak?
I did my best.
The Fab 5 and the Silent One. And then they won't know if they're talking about the monk or the rogue.
What about the Stealthy Six?
We're not all stealthy, but you know what? I like that. Let's do it.
I see you guys have come to a decision.
The Stealthy Six.
Stealthy Six what?
DBA.
Oh, the name. Oh, sure. Let me help fill this out, and I'll need each of your signatures on this.
And you spend the next 5 minutes signing your names to 4 pieces of parchment, of which he gives you one of them, and it says the Stealthy Six.
When I
it.
sign my name, though, I cross out the Stealthy 6 and I put the Fab 5 and Pele.
Okay, go ahead and roll a sleight of hand check. I'm assuming you were the last person to sign.
Are you invalidating all of our contracts by being
Nope.
just? I see
She's
what you're
not.
doing.
That would be
I got a
very
6.
bad.
That's a nat 1.
6. Yeah. You weren't so sneaky.
And he's like, you know, if you make changes to the document, you have to all initial them. Would
Fine,
you like?
that's all, it's fine. It's fine.
Would you like to just cross it out, or does anyone want to acknowledge? And,
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
Okay.
We're keeping it,
Stealthy
yeah.
6 is fine. We're fine. I'm
the
signed.
stealthy
I
six.
kind of walk
Okay,
away.
I've got that. Okay, perfect. All right. Well, if you were to succeed in any of these, we will make sure that the Stealthy Six here gets, compensated for your efforts.
Thank you.
Best of luck to you all.
Thank you very much.
I'll be here anytime if you need me between the hours of 9 to 5 with a break from 12 to 1 for lunch.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And as I'm going, I tell Pele to pull a couple of numbers from the number ticker.
Oh, stealth check that one. Someone roll a 20-sided die. He's got a +5.
Okay.
You got it?
Do
I got it. It's done.
What was it?
Oh, there we go. I had to press the second button. 15.
Plus
15.
5. So 15 plus 5 is 20.
20.
A dirty 20.
So he manages to peel off 3 through 7 and tuck them in his pocket. So he's feeling pretty good. And he also takes the last one of 7 and slowly wraps that piece of butter in it that he managed to keep. So he's got numbers 3 through 6 and butter in 7. And that is it. You guys have left the town master's hall with an idea of where you're going next. And you guys are out in the middle of town. And let us take a pit stop for a few minutes, and we will see where we pick up.
Okay, see you in a
All
second.
right.
So good.
Back in a minute.
Okay, BRB.
So 5 minutes?
I need, yeah.
Yeah, I gotta go.
many screens open.
Hi, is this annoying yet?
I love it.
Is it okay?
I think it's hilarious.
I really like it, but I don't want to annoy people.
No. I think it goes with your character.
I love it. You look gorgeous.
Sparkly.
Yeah.
I was so hungry.
Sandwich. You guys ever had these?
What is it?
Capriati's?
Yeah.
They have a bobby. It's like a turkey dinner, a Thanksgiving dinner in a sandwich.
That's awesome.
Where's it
So
from?
good. Capriati's.
Never heard of it, but next time I come to your place, guess what we're getting?
So good. So it's from Delaware. So of course Rick loves it.
That's funny.
Cheesesteaks and stuff. Oh, whoa.
That's awesome.
Does Terry have another never-ending burrito?
The problem is I eat so slowly. Like anybody else would be done in 10 minutes, and it takes me an hour to eat.
That's probably a good thing, though.
Yeah.
Because eating too fast is not good.
No, you eat less whenever you eat slow.
Sounds like something Farben would say.
Pace yourself through that oatmeal.
You know, if you don't have a business meeting where somebody lets a cat into a room, then it's not 2020 or 2021.
Agreed.
Right?
It's like you're like, well, I think in order to hit our third quarter goals that we have to hold on. I gotta let Tabby in, and everyone's like used to it. They're like, yeah, Tabby.
So we have a show that we've been pitching for a couple of months.
I know, just Dave. Thank you. How's that going?
It's like a really scary, period Lovecraftian, very exciting show. And our showrunner pitches so beautifully and such passion. And I saw him falter once in the middle of his pitch where he just got distracted for half a second and then went right back to it. And later that day I said, I've never seen you get off your game. Even though it was a half a second, I knew that you were off your game for a half a second because I'm so used to hearing this pitch. What was going on? And he said, that was my cat throwing up on my couch right behind me in the background.
Oh my God.
In the middle of his pitch.
We're all used to that now.
That's amazing.
So funny. And he just kept going.
You're having a meeting about product management, and suddenly there's a 5-year-old with a Lego interrupting the conversation. And everyone's like, yep, I'm good with this. It's fine.
I just couldn't believe he let that vomit sit on that couch for another half an hour.
I was telling everyone that at work, this is sort of like the modern mullet, business in the front, party in the back, except it's Zoom, business up here, sweatpants below. And I'm talking to someone I work with, and she goes, yeah, I put on a nice blouse every day, but then yoga pants. I've been here 3 months and I've worn nothing but yoga pants, and nobody knows.
Every single one of my meetings, it's always nice shirt and just PJs. Every single one.
I've been living in tights for a year.
We're gonna ever be able to put on pants with buttons ever again.
I think when we go back to offices, we need to if we go back to offices, we need to tell folks you need to dress like you did at home, and everyone's gonna come in with a suit top and pajamas. It'll be awesome.
I would totally
Friday. It'll be 2020 Friday.
I would totally wear suits if I was rich, because I love suits. Watching Matt Bomer in White Collar has given me such an appreciation for suits and for Matt Bomer. Matt Bomer, if you're watching this, right here.
I have to real quick, whole sidebar. I if you've not watched it yet, was thinking about you constantly. I was thinking about you because you have not seen Matt Bummer's new show. It's season 3 of Pinner. Have you seen it yet?
I have not, but I know exactly which show that is because I know. And
spoiler alert: he shaves his head at a certain point, and he looks like a different freaking person. It is insane.
All right.
So please watch it. I mean, he's obviously as handsome as ever.
This gives me so many good ideas.
So please watch it. I was immediately thinking about you.
All right, we have everyone, right?
Yeah,
I think so.
Oh, and hey,
all right.
Tom is in the chat. Tom wants to know where his picture is. We gave you, or it's right here. I've got it.
Yeah, didn't we give it to you virtually?
Yeah, well, we showed it.
Showed it virtually?
Yeah.
Just take a screenshot of that, Tom. That's all you need.
Right. Jeff's in charge of disbursement. Distribution and customer service.
I'm going to show up at your house, Tom, with a giant picture of Dave, just like Ed McMahon and the Publishers Clearinghouse check.
Totally. I'm used to that, though. So here's a picture of it. Okay. So, I've just got to get some different music because this music is just driving me crazy right now. So it doesn't like me. Boop, 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 boop. That's rainy. It's not rainy. Burning, Ghost Town. We'll just do this one just for fun. Just because we need something different. All right. You guys have left the Town Master's Hall, which I brought up the map so you guys can see it. You guys are right here at the Town Master's Hall. This is where you came into town this way, up by Barthen's in the Shrine of Luck. And then the Wandering Oak is way down at the other end. You spent a decent amount of time, but it's still mid-morning in town. Anything else you want to do here, or do you guys want to are you hitting the trail? What's the thought?
I think we need to hit the trail. It's a 2-day walk.
Get out there.
But we should make sure that we have all the supplies we need.
All right.
I want to find some mistletoe for a spell I want to cast.
Guys, we gotta go.
As you guys are discussing, and Conjur's complaining, and Rocky wants mistletoe. You guys see coming down the road from Barthen's a couple of the Red Hand, apparently on patrol. One of them's got a spear, another one's got sheathed a sword and a crossbow behind them. And they are walking through town, and you can tell they look rather official, just like they're trying to on patrol, keeping charge of everything. One of them looks over at you and just sort of eyes you up and down a little bit, and then kind of doesn't pay attention anymore as they continue through the square and down towards the direction of the Wandering Oak.
I think let's make sure we have all of our provisions, and let's get on out of here. Rocky, if you want to go grab a mistletoe, I'm just gonna stop by probably it would be the Lion's Shield for like armor and weapons and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna grab swing by the Lion's Shield to see if there's anything for me. I know a few of you have already gone there, so I'm just gonna swing by very quickly and I'll catch up.
Okay.
And I'll just go to whatever the provisions were. Do I know where there would be mistletoe in town? I mean, it's kind of basic.
It's probably not something that's sold this time of year, but it grows on trees, generally oak trees in the forest, and it's pretty common.
Okay.
Odds are, if you were looking for it before, you would have found it. It's just one of those things that most oak trees have mistletoe growing on them.
What self-respecting ranger is going to buy mistletoe, David?
Fine. I'm just trying to get things.
I mean, I didn't want to say that, but yeah, you got a good point.
All right, so I'll deal with it when we're in the forest.
Okay, so you guys, whoever is choosing to do so, goes across the street to the Lion Shield. Bang on the door. Open the door. Ding ding, and you hear from the background, "Thank you for coming into the Lioncaster where we meet the community's needs." Oh, yes. Oh, hi, it's you. Hi.
Hi.
How are you? It's Tura Greywine from last night.
Tura.
And what brings you in?
Well, I was actually looking for a chain shirt. I figured you would have it.
A what shirt?
A chain shirt?
Chain shirt, like armor?
Yeah.
Let me see. Let me see what we've got. I don't have too much of that. And goes rumbling around the back and brings one out. It is clearly man-sized, not hobbit size. But you can try it on if you want.
No, that's perfectly fine. I actually just need it. How much would it be?
This 50 gold.
50 gold?
Yep.
Yeah, that sounds fair.
Yeah, excellent. All right, let me just ring you out here. Anything else?
No, I think that's it for now.
All right, excellent. I was wondering if I would ever sell this around here, so that's fantastic. Takes your 50 gold, so go ahead and mark that off, and you've got yourself a chain shirt.
Perfect, and I go catch up with the others.
Okay, a rather large trait. For you, it's more of a chain dress, but okay.
Nightgown.
Am I caught up?
Yep, you guys are all there in town. What else are you guys needing to do before you head out?
Do we need any other rations?
Oh.
I think we're good with rations. I think we
Yeah,
can.
we
head
are
on out.
too. I think we're gonna. So, quick question: Is
Yes.
there? We have a 2-day walk ahead of us.
Yes.
Is there any benefit to trying to find a horse and wagon to rent or to buy for this trek, and would it be any faster?
Based on the trail that you had before, the trail kind of went in and out. Some places were a little better than others. You remember somebody saying, Edomart saying, Enomat saying that there was a wagon that made the run from Fing to Fend, which is exactly the path that you would be going. So you imagine the trail's a little bit better going that direction. So a number of horses would probably speed you up, but where you're going to buy or rent horses or a cart is sort of unknown.
What do you say, guys? Is it worth trying to find that, or should we just get a move on?
I mean, we could, but I think at this point, it might just be fast. I don't know if this town will have enough horses to send us, and I'm good walking. It's up to you guys, but I'm good walking. I don't know.
I don't need a horse.
All right,
I
let's
don't
go.
have money.
All right. Is anyone needing? If anyone needs to buy rations, we'll just look at how many rations you have and just assume that you can buy them for 5 silver apiece, and load up on up to 10 of them and stack yourself up if you need to. That way we don't waste time doing that. And you guys are planning on heading out of town?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, Rocky.
Yeah,
The road again.
I heard you were looking for a chain shirt.
I was.
Oh, well, I just happen to have one, so here you go.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me, little guy.
I had an extra one. I don't need it.
That'd be kind of a dress on you, but
Yeah.
I owe you one. This will help out a lot.
Sounds good. I'm happy to hear that.
And I quickly slide the chain shirt on.
All right. So go ahead and add that to your equipment and change what you're wearing. That should adjust your armor class. And just, indicate that you are just, have the other stuff, since I'm not really keeping track of encumbrance too much. Usually if you end up with too much stuff, you just magically find a bag of holding and we can shove it all in there and not worry about it. Makes life easier. Okay. So you are all geared up, looking chain shirted, which is good. You did notice on the chain shirt there's a little in metal, there's a little blue lion in sort of the shape of the lion shield coster. It's kind of like their house brand that you bought. Not the best manufacturing, but meets all the guidelines for a chain shirt. It will provide you the protection it promises.
Doesn't seem to actually change anything.
Did you equip it?
Yeah, I think so.
What were you wearing before?
I was wearing studded leather.
Well, let's see. What were we looking for? The price of a chain shirt is your 13 plus your dex modifier. So it should be 15 unless you have anything else that's going to help out. What was your armor class before?
It was +3.
Huh?
My dex modifier is +3.
Okay, so you should be at a 16. Are you not at a 16?
No.
Let me go look at your character real quick and see if you got this set up right.
Oh, chain shirt has a max dex modifier of 2.
Ah, that would be it.
Oh, so it's the same thing and it's heavier? Oh, what's the point?
Nothing really. It's good for people who wear medium. Studded leather is light armor, which means I think it doesn't have a max. I could be wrong on that.
Studded leather is light armor.
Yeah.
The chain shirt is medium.
Yeah, and medium has a max of 2. Light has no max.
So there's actually no point in my having it. It just slows me down.
You're proficient in medium armor, so it won't slow you down any. And it's not loud like chainmail, so it's not going to cause any problems. You can use either one of them. Might as well hold on to one just in case you need to lend one to someone else to borrow.
Okay.
So, cool.
Enchanted later on.
So, let's just assume you guys hit the trail, and you're on your merry way. So it's going to be a couple of days to get there, and the Fen Trail is not as safe as some other places like the Coast Road. So we're Fen trailing it. But let me get a marching order for this part of the trip. Who's you don't have any horses or anything to deal with, so you're all 7 of you are walking. So who's in the front? Sort of keeping. You have 2 people up front, Tatiana, and who else?
I'll be up front.
And Rocky. All right. Condra, where are you?
I'll be kind of in the middle, walking kind of behind Tatiana.
Okay. And Zankoran and Pele, Rampuri?
I'll go in the back.
Okay.
Is this appropriate adventuring music?
Well, for now, you're just on a Sundapple trail.
Okay.
So, maybe other stuff will happen. Rampuri is there with Pele. And who am I missing? Zankoran, where are you?
I'll be probably in the back as well. Just kind of.
Okay, you're just right behind Condra. Yeah. Okay. So you guys are, moving through doing stuff. Let me grab myself a set of dice and let's see what happens, because you never can tell. It really is the more you roll, so I'm going to roll. Ooh, I got a weird dice set. 6. Okay. Alrighty. So you guys are making that journey, and just for expediency's sake, the day is relatively normal. You don't see anything around. You haven't run into anything, but it's relatively quiet. It's kind of pretty. It's overcast today. The rain, it's still moist, like after a rain, the way that it feels, it's super humid still, a little bit chilly, and the overcast is just like an even light over everything. As you're walking, you do see some oak trees, Rocky. It's really easy for you to grab some mistletoe, just reaching up your longsword and cutting some out of the tree so you can add that to your bag of things that you have. We can move ahead to an evening check on what's going on, unless there's anything else you wanted to do just in the middle of the walk. No. All right, cool. So the sun begins to slowly drop a little bit, and that sound effect was the weird dice that I've selected for what's happened. And you guys are making progress. Sun's beginning to set. You can't actually tell because you can't see the sun, but it is getting darker. That's a dead giveaway. And it's about time for you guys to set up camp at night. So what do you guys do? You guys gonna look for a place to stay?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not an inn, just like a place off the side of the road.
Let's try to find a mossy clearing, guys. Something comfortable.
All right, go ahead and roll a. This is a perception check. See what you can find.
Perception.
Tatiana's gonna roll for it.
It's a wonderful town.
Called perception. Right.
What is that? 4.
A 4. Okay. You're not seeing any mossy openings that you can set up camp in. It looks kind of a bunch of rocky terrain that's around. There's a couple little spots where you can kind of tuck yourself in, but it seems like a lot of the little flatter, nicer areas you passed like 4 miles ago, and now it's just gotten a little bit more stony and hilly. So there's a bunch of rocks and stuff that are around, but not the most comfortable there for you guys to do. But you can set up camp if you want. You guys lighting a fire, or are you not lighting a fire?
Hey Rocky, what do you think? Do you think it's safe to keep a fire going? And this is your neck of the woods, if you will.
Well, as a ranger, what would I do? What would I say?
Fires keep you warm. They allow you to cook some stuff up if you want, but they also are a beacon. It's your choice on how dangerous you feel it be.
Well, I explained that to all of them. Well, if we make a fire, that's kind of like a beacon to the monsters. If you guys can live without it, I would suggest we do.
Fire. No fire needed. We can curl up.
So you guys are making a fire?
Keep me warm tonight?
Huh?
Tatiana, want to keep me warm tonight?
Oh.
She's got cold blood, just so you know.
I don't think you'll like my scaly protrusions.
Well, you never know.
That's a very good point.
You never know.
Very good point.
There's someone for everyone, right?
Totally.
Well, we set a guard.
All right.
I'll take first watch.
So we're not doing a fire?
No, unless there's no.
Fire.
So we will cuddle each other.
Say that again?
Warm.
It's
so
not that cold, is
cuddle
it?
with each other to keep warm.
It's not winter or anything, is it?
No, it's spring. It's not particular. I mean, it's still a little chilly at night, but it's not horrible. That's there. Okay. Who's taking first watch? Condra? Anyone else?
I'll hang out with Condra.
All right.
She's my gal.
That's fitting.
All right. Are the rest of you guys laying down by the fire or in little tents?
No fire.
No fire. I'm sorry.
Fire.
Are you guys? I get so excited about fires. It's so homey.
Can we toast marshmallows on the fire?
Well, there's no fire, I've been told, so that's not a possibility anymore. Yeah, it's kind of a bummer. So, are you guys taking a what are you guys doing as far as
make a perimeter?
Making a perimeter, spreading yourselves out. Okay, so I'm going to use just sort of an old map that because I don't have a map for everything, so we're just going to use one that makes it work for us. And let me get this going for us here. Second. Whoops. Oh, not really what I wanted. What am I on? Oh, it hates me.
It loves you.
Nope, it hates me. It totally hates me. I've added something to it and it won't let me grab it. Wow, it hates me. Select mode. Grab item. Nothing's working. Okay, let's try on this one. Wow. It does totally hate me, people. Well, that's just not fun at all.
We're just trying to sleep, so...
Yeah, so you guys are sleeping. Roll a perception check, Chandra and Tatiana.
Okay.
Perception. 19.
19. Tatiana?
12.
12. So, the night kind of marches on. You guys are half asleep, but keeping watch of what's going on. And middle of the night, you hear this rather large sound. You hear some ruffling over in the woods to the right of your campsite. You can't quite see anything yet. But then again, you hear this. It's quiet for a minute.
Do you hear that?
I heard that. Where did it come from?
An animal?
Could be anything at this point. Should we wake up the others?
Should we go check it out first?
Yeah, okay. Let's go check it out.
All right. So you guys are, it's sort of set up, right? Let me see if I can get this zoomed in correctly. You guys can see the screen, right?
Yep.
I know this cart's not here, and I know we've used this before, but, deal with it. So you two were, change my layer. Oh, it so hates me. All right, so Tatiana was sitting over here, and then you guys are, I'm just going to pretend you guys are sleeping in these little spots over here.
I pitched my tent, so.
Yes. Yeah, I know I should have picked a nicer one. This looks pretty beat up for you, but we'll just swap you two so that you can have the nice tent, Zenkorn. I know how you feel about it. We'll put you up there. It's got no patches. Obviously, that's critical to you. Okay. So, where you guys, the noise that you heard seemed to come from the right side of the screen. You're kind of surrounded by some shrubs and all, but it is pretty dark. And you can't see much further, not because it's dark, but because the shrubs kind of close in, and shield anything that might be in the background. But since you're out investigating, go ahead and roll another perception check.
Since I'm in my favorite environment, is there a chance I woke up at this sound?
No. You are unconscious and asleep. They didn't bother to wake anyone, so they're on their own here.
19.
7.
19 and a 7. All right. You guys hear a little bit more rooting around. A little bit further away, you hear this. And suddenly, barreling out of the woods is this giant creature headed straight for you guys. Let me move you guys out to sort of the area that you guys were at. And you guys are hunting around, and probably around 25, 30 feet away, you hear this galloping sound of something, but you don't know what it is yet. You can definitely tell the direction. The direction is off this way, but it's all shrouded with shrubbery there. It's overcast night. There's not a lot of light. Maybe the moon's up, maybe not, but it is quite dark. You've got night vision, Chandra. Tatiana, you don't have night vision, so you're at total loss of what's going on. And then tearing around the corner from where you are is, and just entering into view is I know that looks rather small, but it's a giant owl bear. It looks like it's half owl and half bear.
Is it a bowel?
It is a bowel. Yeah, that was the traditional name, just bowel, but then they switched it so kids wouldn't make fun of it. It is an owl bear that is charging towards you. So let's have everyone roll initiative.
Woohoo! Roll initiative.
You mean everyone as in the two of them?
Everyone.
No, everyone should roll because you're probably not sleeping through it. You're probably going to get up and get involved.
All right. Here we go. My initiative has been rolled.
There, a little bit better music for us now. Let me roll for our fine friend.
Oh, perfect.
Hold on, let me get Pele up here. I'm loading up Pele's screen and rolling his initiative.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Nat 1.
Isn't that the second nat
Really?
1 that you've rolled him?
I've rolled twice for Pele and 2 nat 1s.
Haley, owls.
So, way to go, big guy. You're on a roll. I don't know why I have this over here and that over there. I've really sort of messed this up, but that's fine. I'll just close that, move this over. All right, let's get... Let me move some things around real quick so I can see them. Let's get initiative going here. So, 0 to 5. I've got 0 to 5. I just rolled a 4. Okay, thanks for sharing, Pele. 5 to 10. Wow, 10 to 15.
12.
13.
12. Zancorin, 13. 15 to 20.
14.
What'd you get?
14.
14. 19. Nice. And then, I don't know why that thing's there, but okay. Then I will roll initiative there. And we shall start. You guys can see the screen, right? You guys
Yeah.
are set?
Yeah.
So
Okay. Sorry, gotta pull this out. I had this organized and then I blew it all. Okay. Grand Prairie. You are asleep, but you waken to the sound of this. You cannot be surprised by anything that attacks you in the night, so you are not surprised on this. You have your full turn.
Even if I'm asleep?
It made a loud noise and woke you up. So
Okay.
I'm going to say if it snuck up, you probably wouldn't have heard it. But since it made a loud noise, your instincts are fast enough that you are not surprised.
All right. So I'm too far away, really, to kind of see anything. So I will get up, and I'd like to move. I'll move 1, 2, 3, I guess 4 spaces. So I'm with the 2 of them there.
Like right next to him.
Actually, I'd like to stand in front of Andre.
Okay. All right. So you get up. That takes supposed to take half your movement, isn't it? But that seems ridiculous. It takes like 10 feet of your movement, and then you got 30 feet left, so you don't have a problem of getting there.
Well, I've got 50 feet. 50 feet.
Yeah. So you've got plenty to get to this point. So you're staying there. You could actually run. Each square is 5 feet, so you do.
Yeah.
You could make it further, but owlbears are really dangerous. I'm not sure what you're doing.
Describe this. So do I know what this is? Or do I have any clue other than it's just this big beast that looks like a half owl, half bear?
Roll an intelligence check.
Which one isn't? I'm sorry.
It's just a straight intelligence check at the top. It's largely I picked that because I.
Sorry.
What was it?
Ooh, a whopping 4.
Whopping 4.
I'm not
What-
the brightest.
What you see is what you could really describe as a bear with a giant owl head. it's really hard to read a bird's expression because they really don't have one. But based on the pace that it is attacking people, you're fairly sure it's not happy or hungry.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is it coming like straight inwards, like straight towards Chandra and I?
Yeah, it had made it to this point, and this is where it stopped. But it is in process of moving, so it is definitely headed towards the two of you. Yeah, or the three of you now. Yep.
Gotcha. All right. So I will. I'm gonna take 2 more steps towards it and engage it heartily with my stick.
All right. Go ahead and roll an attack roll.
What was his initiative?
20.
20.
So on your you're using a single hand attack, I'm assuming. So you can still do your second hit, or are you using a double?
I'm sorry. Remind me one more time.
On your board, you can always use your stick as like a single hand, which prevents you from then using your second unarmed strike, but it does more damage. Or you can do 2. You can do a stick and an unarmed strike.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and do it one-armed.
Okay. So what did you roll?
7.
All right. So you crack down on top across of its beak, and your stick just sort of bounces off its beak. This thing is beefy. This thing's a heck of a beast. You didn't do any damage, though. Go ahead and roll your unarmed strike.
All right. I'm going to hit it with the fist. And that gets me a whopping 9.
A 9.
Fire.
You reach through and jab to where you're hoping is like some sort of soft tissue. And you do hit him, but you feel nothing but fur and then muscle that's underneath there. Unable to find a weakness in his hide yet, and being unfamiliar with the owlbear's form, your first 2 strikes don't do anything.
All right.
You have, you could do a key point, or you can hold, or what do you want to do?
I'm not going to spend a key point. I mean, the only thing am I kind of impeding it as far as hitting Chandra?
Yeah, it's gonna, if it tries to go around you at this point, you're gonna get an opportunity attack, so that's good.
Yeah, I'm just gonna stand my ground.
Okay. Rocky, you're next.
Well, I hear something. I've got my bow right next to me. I just immediately notch an arrow and try to sight and shoot.
All right, so you are more surprised of it because you don't have his keen monk skills. So what we're gonna let you do is make it as far as like half of your movement, being able to get up and get out of the tent. But since you're surprised on it, we're gonna limit your actions to just that point. But you do have a complete view of what's going on now.
I didn't know I was in a tent. I usually sleep on the ground.
That's either way. Because you're surprised, I'm withdrawing some of your ability, just enough for you guys to get awareness of what's going on.
Move to a place where I can at least.
I'll give you. Say you were starting here. I'll give you 10 feet of movement because you're still like trying to get up and figure out what's going on.
Yeah, but my longbow has a huge range. So.
Yeah, but you gotta. I mean, right now, as you take a look at it, you've got to fire through Chandra and Rampuri to get to it. So you've got that risk. And I'm not going to let you take an action this turn because you are surprised.
Okay.
So, but do you want to move to a different direction? Because you can tell, oh, I can't see it that clearly. I don't know if there's a better view for you anywhere. Unfortunately, you've got Chandra and Tatiana to shoot through, and they're both quite tall.
It's also dark, right?
Yeah, it's also dark. So you would be firing at disadvantage, but you can hear enough that you know what's going on over there. But it's really hard for you to tell.
I'll try to get to the sort of to the right of them. I'll start moving.
Like flanking the whole group over on the side. Okay, this cart isn't here, so I'm just gonna put you in that spot as you're sort of trying to gain position on it and using the sound to sort of triangulate where everyone is.
Yeah, I mean, if those trees, I don't know whether this is accurate, but I would just keep going.
Yeah, but I'm just limiting your movement to 10 feet. So because you just got up. But the owlbear, unfortunately, did not just get up, and it rolled high on initiative. So it is the owlbear's turn. It looks at Rampuri in front, and it's like, and it reaches out with its claw to make a swipe across and just trying to knock you out of the way. It actually gets two attacks, but it's going to use 2 attacks. But let's do different ones. So we're going to start with the claw. $14. What's your armor class?
15.
15. It reaches out to swipe away at you, and you're able just to parry your body out of the way as it hits nothing but air. It's
Suck
angered.
It, owlbear.
It's angered at this point, and it's going to use its second attack with its beak and just like jab over at you. But it's not going to try to kill you with this. It's going to use, it's going to swipe you across the side and try to throw you out of the way. So I am going to have us do a straight up strength check. So go ahead and roll a strength check, and I will roll a strength check and see how you do.
And the strength check would be, it's not the saving throw, right?
No, it's just a straight strength versus strength battle that I'm doing.
Sorry.
He's trying to grab you, and you're trying to avoid it, and he's trying to toss you.
All right. 14.
14. You're able to just hold your ground. He's got a +5 on strength. I really thought this would work. But he rolled poorly, and as I've been doing all evening, and total of a 13. And as his beak comes down, you're able to glance it out of the way that it really can't get all of its weight behind you. That's an owlbear. This is what you're looking at. Although it's hard for you to see because it's dark.
Is that really an owlbear?
Yep.
Well, it's a figurine of an owlbear. But
Oh yeah, it's too small to be a real one.
too small to be a real one. Yeah, I just want to point out for all of our viewer that that's what the case is. Okay.
Grammatically correct.
We have the one viewer. Okay, perfect. And then Chandra, you are up next. You are surprised as well, so I'm going to give you 10. Oh no, you're not surprised. You're
I'm
right
not
there.
surprised. Yep.
What are you doing?
Yep.
You've got Rampuri in front of you, so
Yes.
keep that in mind.
Yes. I'm going to see that's the problem. That's a problem, Rampuri, that you are so close to him. Because now my plan of attack has to change so I don't hurt you. So I can't do that. Can't do that. Can't do that.
Well, you can move first, right? So if you want to directly target him, you can like drop yourself down to this area to get a straight shot, or you got 30 feet, you can run around this way to get a clear shot as well. So you've got some options.
Okay, but even if I do like a cone spell, it's still gonna hit Rampuri, right?
Yeah. Probably.
Yeah. And Ice Knife would hit Rampuri.
I don't even know what Ice Knife is, so that's exciting.
It would definitely hit Rampuri because he's within 5 feet. So I have only one thing I can do without hurting Rampuri. All right. I'm going to stay exactly where I am.
Okay.
And I am going to cast Ray of Sickness.
All right. So,
Okay.
all right. How does Ray of Sickness work? I got to pull it up.
I lift my wand and I cast Ray of Sickness, and a ray of sickening greenish energy lashes out toward the creature within range, which in this case is going to be the owlbear.
Right.
Yes, so there's that. So should I roll?
Go ahead and roll your spell attack.
15.
15. And his armor class is a 13. That is a hit.
Okay, great.
So what's
right.
I know there's damage, and then we have to calculate any sort of poison. So let's go ahead and roll damage first.
Okay. 11. Yes, damage is 11.
2d8, 11 damage. This green ethereal glob of mucus fires forward and just lands on top of him like an ethereal glob of snot. And he's like, and some of it gets inside of his beak and his mouth, and he's swallowed a little bit of it. He takes some damage just from having that, and now he's got to roll a Constitution saving throw.
He does.
Oh! I really hate this. Oh, good. It kept it. Awesome. You did 11 damage.
Huh?
And Constitution saving throw, 20-sided die. What is your spell modifier?
Saving
throw. It should be under your spells.
It's on the spell. It's listed. It should be listed.
Modifier, spell attack, save DC.
Oh, modifier is +3.
What's the save DC?
13.
13. Okay. He gets some of this stuff in his mouth, and he's like, doesn't seem to have taken the full dose of it. So he is he's not poisoned going forward. He was able to get rid of all of that, but he does. You can tell that you did some damage to him. Any movement on your turn, or bonus action?
My bonus action is just going to be to dodge.
That's a full action, so you can't dodge.
That's a full action. Never mind. Then I'm going to do nothing. I'm going to stay exactly where I am.
Okay, perfect. Excellent. Zancorin, you are also just waking up, so you're going to take a little bit of... you can move 10 feet, but that's about it.
Quick question. Was Tannery surprised as well?
Yes, but
okay.
He has... we didn't roll for initiative order for him.
I technically did, but I didn't say it.
Okay, what's he at?
So he rolled a 13 plus 4, so 17.
Oh, okay. So we can go...
we can do for this point, we can do the same
Yeah, for this point, he woke up as well, and
yeah.
he's looking at you and fluttering his wings like, what should we do?
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of sounds they make. Something.
Perfect.
Right. So he's making some noise looking at you. You awaken. Are you going to move anywhere? Are you staying there?
I'm going to move 10 feet to the noise.
All right. So we're just going to put you right there as you move a little bit closer. And that gets us over to Tatiana. You're not surprised. You've been watching this.
I have been watching this. And I am going to move closer to the owlbear.
Okay.
Because I'm going to kick its ass.
All right. So where do you want to move?
Let's move to just directly south of where the owlbear is.
I know this is imaginary space. It's not a graphical thing, but if you can't get too much here, it's in the woods. If you took one more step over, but that would have put you in a flanking position. If you started here, you could probably go 5, 10, 15, 20 back in this direction of them. That's in the open, and you would be in a flanking position. So you would get that flanking advantage of, you'd get advantage to your attack, which you have disadvantage because it's dark. So it's up to you where you want to be.
I want to be in a flanking position.
All right.
So I think that is a wonderful idea. And I am going to unsheath my double-bladed scimitar.
Nice.
And lift it, ready to smite the owlbear. And I'm wondering, because I've never done this before,
okay.
I have a special ability now that I'm level 2 where I can use Divine Smite.
Divine Smite. Oh, I'm looking for Divine. I see a Searing Spite. Divine Smite. When you hit with the melee weapon, you can expend 1 spell slot to deal 2d8 extra radiant damage to the target, plus 1d8 for each spell level higher than 1. Okay, so you can attack. You can wait to do this till after you hit, because you can only use it when you hit, so you're not going to throw it away if you do choose to do that. It'll use a spell slot, and I don't know how many spell slots you have. You have 2, so it'll use one of your 2 spell slots, but you can do that. So go ahead and... Huh?
The spell slots are used and can't be brought back until you've had a long rest.
Correct.
Correct, and some people have the ability to bring them on back after a short. One of them back after a short rest, but I don't see that.
I don't. So, yeah, I think paladins are long rest.
Yeah, so you've got one of them will be gone till after a long rest. So, okay, so go ahead and attack with your scimitar.
All right. Do I press the +5? That's what I.
Yes, you would hit the +5 on that.
Oh.
12. The scimitar comes down, and as you're coming down over it, you hit the back of its neck, but its feathers are so dense, your sword just came down at a little bit too much of an angle. It would have worked on a human, but it bounces off of those feathers that are deep and thick on its neck and slides to the side, not doing any damage. You have a bonus action?
Yes.
I'm not sure what it is.
Divine Smite.
That's only when you hit.
Oh.
So your bonus action is 2-weapon fighting. It looks like you can cast Divine Favor or Searing Smite as a bonus action.
But I have to hit the creature, right?
No, this is the next time you hit a creature with a melee weapon during the spell's duration, which lasts up to a minute. So odds are your weapon flares with white-hot intensity. And the attack deals an extra 1d6 fire damage to the target and causes the target to ignite in flames. And at the start of each of its turn until the spell ends, the target makes a Constitution saving throw or suffers 1d6 fire damage. And on a successful save, the spell ends. So if you cast it, it won't help you this time. It is the next time you hit a creature that it will take effect. So even if you miss the next time, if the time after that you hit this, then it'll cause that sort of damage. So you can cast it, and it's just queued up, ready to go for you.
I cast Searing Smite!
All right. Unbeknownst to him, as that your scimitar comes down, you cast the Searing Smite spell, and your blade flashes with flame and then dissipates and looks again like the normal blade that it is, going back to looking just like the double-bladed scimitar. Meanwhile, Pele wakes up from his spot and yells out, "Can you keep the noise down? Oh, crap, I guess I better do something about that. I'm sneaky, you know, and I'm gonna sneak off with old Lucky the crossbow and see how lucky I am today." God, I hope he listens to this. So he begins to sneak around this way, but again, his turn is limited as we go to the top of the round. Back to Rampuri.
All right, I am going to wind up, and having tested this guy and knowing where his weak spots are, I'm going to hit him with the stick.
Hit him with the stick!
Hold on 1 second.
Go ahead and roll.
I hit the wrong button. Give me a second. Oh my God. And I got another 9.
Wow.
You're like, I'm going to try his side. And you reach over sideways and try to backhand him. And he just picks up his giant hand and bats your stick away. You realize you're up against something a little bit bigger than you had imagined. You still have a bonus action.
All right. Well, you know what? If the stick doesn't work, the fist is definitely going to do it this time. This time I got a 15. 15.
You've seen him twist and move enough that you kind of have an understanding of where his rib cage is, and as you bat, yep.
I completely forgot. Can I attack at advantage because of the fact that I'm flanking with Terry or with Tatiana?
You're totally right. Yeah, I think we forgot to do that with Terry as well, but since we missed it, we're just gonna skip that. But you can. No, go ahead. Go ahead and roll yours, since we haven't rolled 3 characters past that.
Well, we can
go ahead and roll yours at advantage.
We can say that the 9 and the 15 were his first attack, and the 15 is now the hit.
That's fine. Let's do that. Your 15 is the hit with your stick. So, yes, you're at advantage. You hit with a stick. And yes,
does
4 damage. Hey, that's something. Now you have your bonus.
All right, I'm going to use my monk training to force all of my energy into my center, which slows down time. And in the space between 2 heartbeats, I'm going to go take a walk on the beach with my old mentor and ponder the power of the ocean. And when the second heartbeat hits...
Wait, do you remember the name of your mentor?
I do not.
That's okay. But you do, obviously.
But I do have a mentor. And if you care to mention it to me now, I will write it down.
It's Mishar.
Mishar.
Yeah. You imagine a lovely walk on the beach with Mishar.
When time snaps back with the second heartbeat, I am unleashing a flurry of fists.
All right. How many attacks is that?
Flurry.
The flurry.
Sorry, what's that, Dave?
That's two attacks, right?
Yeah, 2 attacks. Oh, and they're both at advantage, right? So the
Yes.
first one was a 10. I forgot to roll advantage, so I'll roll the second one. 19.
That is a hit. Go ahead and roll damage. Oh, wait, no. Unarmed strike. That's a straight 5. A straight 4 damage. I'm sorry. Isn't it? Am I in your character?
No. It's 1d4 plus 3 for...
Sorry. Yeah, go ahead and roll that. I'm sorry. I was looking at the wrong...
6.
6. Okay. And go ahead with your second of the flurries.
A 23.
Hit.
And a 7. See, the rolls, I was saving them for when I needed them.
Right.
That's a lot of damage.
7 damage. Suddenly you've realized this thing's anatomy, and you're like, I know where to hit this sucker, and you're taking all these attacks at it, and the owlbear, he feels it. You can tell that he's like annoyed at you, like and this sort of half bird, half bear scream that it has. Rocky, you are next.
First thing I do is I'm shouting to Zancorin. Zancorin, I need some light.
Perfect.
All right, and then I'm going to use my bonus action to put some unusual substance on my arrow.
Okay, you can do that. So you,
as it's a bonus action.
Yep, you can do that first, and you still have action and movement. Yelling at the Zancorin doesn't. Yeah. It's a simple thing. That's free.
So I'm moving, trying to get behind it to be able to shoot from behind.
So like up in this area.
Yeah.
Okay, you'll have a straight shot on that.
Yeah.
Are you gonna try to take the shot now, or are you gonna hold your action for later, or what?
Oh, it depends how much are you gonna give me as a negative if I'm trying to shoot it right now?
If you shoot now, because it's dark,
a lot of noise.
It's at disadvantage because you're in the dark. If you hold your action for light and he's able to get light over there, then you can hold your action for as soon as you have light and fire, and that would be just a normal shot.
Oh, well, why wouldn't I do that?
I don't know. It's up to you.
I mean,
Zancorin made
this round. Zancorin might choose not to do it, but
right. That's always a possibility. You did yell to him, so
yeah, I'm going to hold it. I'm just trying to aim as best I can. It's an important shot.
Yeah, getting all queued up and ready to fire. All right, owlbear.
Out of curiosity, in a situation like this, firing in the dark, is there a chance that he would hit either Tatiana or I?
Yeah, if you roll a 1, then we roll on the critical fail table, and one of those is you hit somebody else. Gotcha. And so there's a possibility, but generally.
But aside from the critical fail, it's not because.
Yeah, you're gonna have to roll a 1 to have that happen, because as much as he doesn't actually know where it is, he does realize it's a owlbear. So aim high. Try not to hit anything. You'll still probably hit the owlbear because they're tall.
How much? I mean, is the moon out? I mean,
no, it's overcast.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's super dimly lit. Not enough for you to really tell much of anything. But yeah, it is officially dark. Owlbear's turn. So the owlbear is now surrounded by 2 people and is feeling fairly uncomfortable with that. So it, with the latest strikes with Rampuri, it's focusing on Rampuri and reaches with its beak and tries to rip into Rampuri's shoulder and take a bite out of him. 19. It's a hit. Damage. 7. Owlbear reaches back and being able to see you perfectly well with its night vision is able to reach forward and take a bite right out of your shoulder. And you feel its beak sink into your skin and it pierce it, just causing it to sort of open up, and you feel a warm blood flowing down your arm. It's not a pretty sensation. With you in its grasp, it takes its claws and is trying to reach up underneath and get into your gut and sort of do what cats do and sort of rip out anything that it can manage to get its guts on. Its claws on. It always rolls in the corner where I can't see it. 12. What's your armor class? 15. You sense, you're fighting an animal, and you know that their instinct is to go for necks and bellies because they know the soft spot instinctively. And you position your body to a side so its claws glance off, and it's not able to get a good dig into you. It doesn't go anywhere. It's just enraged at trying to, destroy you at this point. Chandra.
I'm going to stay exactly where I am, and I'm going to cast Firebolt at the owlbear.
Okay.
So I raise my wand, I cast Firebolt, and I hurl a mote of fire at the owlbear.
All right.
25.
25.
Woo!
What was it? Was it a nat 20?
Yeah, that was a nat 20.
Nice.
Oh, the B? Is that what that is? Or something?
Yeah. Yeah, you got
cool.
a nat 20.
All right, yeah, nat 20.
Okay, so we got a couple of things that happen. This bolt of light that comes out it's a flash, and you see the woods and the trees, everything just sort of light up around you just for a half a second as it goes through.
Is
so
that
first,
enough?
Firebolt goes, let's roll your damage. Roll critical damage on it. So make sure you hit so you don't have to do the calculations.
I think
right?
it does
Critical hit?
I think it does it automatically when you do a nat 20 if you do it through the attack.
Well, if I right click, it says critical hit.
If you right click,
roll.
you can do it.
Yeah, right click, hit critical hit, and tell me what you got.
Nice.
14.
Yep.
And David,
14.
since everything lit up and I was literally waiting for light to happen.
You unleash your arrow. Just enough light for you to target your victim and let the arrow go. Go ahead and roll. You were rolling a straight roll. I so want to see. I like to watch the rolls. Ah! Your shot looks like it's right on target, but as that tiny mote of fire sinks into the shoulder of the bear, now you can see it begin to burn and sear, and it arches back in pain as the arrow shoots just right where his head used to be into the woods behind. Zankorin, your turn.
Wait, did my 14 damage not do enough damage?
No, it did not. They're pretty strong. They're big.
A lot of damage.
A lot of damage, but he's still trucking along.
As all that's happening, I yell out, "On it!" And Tannery, go! And I have Tannery fly, pretty much just right to where I saw the lightning strike.
Mm-hmm.
And through my, what is it? I always forget, telepathy?
Yeah.
So through telepathy, I go cast light right there, and I shout, "Oh!" And right, basically just above where the monk is, I cast light on whatever I see, like a rock or a twig or something.
Okay, so you can. I think you can actually. Can you actually target a being with that? I'm gonna check.
You can. I think it's an object, but you might be able to. I don't actually know.
I mean, I'm gonna say, will you touch one object that's no larger than 10 feet in any dimension? till the spell ends. The object sheds bright light in a 20-foot radius, and dim light for another 20. Light can be colored as you like. Blah blah blah. Okay.
I mean, if we consider the monk an object, I'll cast it on the monk.
Yeah, you can. It should work. The owlbear is going to be too big. They're like 10 to 12 feet tall. But yeah, you can land on the monk or Tatiana and light them up.
I'll have Tannery jump right down onto the monk and cast a pink, very pink light to make him super, super pink.
Perfectly. So suddenly he just sort of glows out in this bright pink light that's shedding light for 20 feet. The whole area is lit up, and the owlbear sort of a little bit steps back because he's never really seen a glowing person before. The owlbear's momentarily distracted because their eyes are, they're owl eyes. They're set for the night, and the brightness gives it a momentary flash of darkness and confusion as that goes through. I don't know, is that the whole action to do that? I know you still have movement.
I mean,
you
that's
might have a bonus action.
Considered my action and my familiar's movement,
right?
Because I cast light, so I do have movement and a bonus. But
yeah,
I'll just move 25 feet closer to that in that direction.
Okay.
Now that
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, sort of behind Condra-san?
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. Tatiana, you are now bathed in pink light.
The monk
I look gorgeous with my blue skin and pink light.
The monk is, but it's bathing the whole area.
Got it.
Yeah. So it's quite bright now. You've got a clear shot and at advantage because, well, actually, we did actually play it right last time. I did actually think through that. You were flanking at advantage, but it was dark at disadvantage, so it was even. But this time it is light, and you are flanking, so you do have advantage on any attack. And you also have that smite.
Right.
So you.
Yes, I have the searing smite, and I'm going to unleash my double-bladed scimitar once again.
All right, roll for damage.
Roll for damage or roll?
I mean, roll for attack. I'm sorry.
Roll again.
13.
Roll again.
I roll again.
Yeah, because you get advantage, so you roll twice, so you get the better.
15.
Yeah.
Nice. I'm pulling up your character here. All right. 15. This time you've learned a little bit with the feathers. Maybe go against the grain, and this time you sweep upwards and get underneath the feathers that are on top of its neck, and you feel your sword slice into the back of its neck. So let's roll the normal 2d4 plus 3 damage by clicking that, and then we'll add your smite damage.
Right. That's a
9. Okay, and then your searing smite damage is 1d6.
And she can choose to do divine smite as well now, right?
Well, I already cast searing smite previously.
Last
Yeah,
time.
she cast searing spell last time. Yeah, I would give you the ability to double up if you wanted to. It would use your last spell slot.
It's up to you.
Yeah, it's up to you. But
Yes, let's do it. We can't mess around with this owlbear.
well, let's first roll. Let's
D6.
Yeah, because no matter what, that's going to happen. And then you're allowed to use Divine Smite after you hit. So let's calculate all this damage. So roll the 1d6.
Okay.
3, 9, 12 damage. You can tell he's pretty well wounded on this. Your blade slices through. It erupts in fire on the back of him. His fur is on fire, and his feathers are burning away. You smell that smell of burning hair. But he's still, he's stepped back a bit, and he's shaking his head. He's clearly really angry. If you want to use your other spell slot, you can.
Yes. Divine Smite!
All right, so you do an extra 2d8 radiant damage to the target. So go ahead and roll 2d8.
All right. So how do I do 2d8?
There's some dice in the far left corner.
Yeah.
So if you click the 8-sided die twice and then hit roll, it will do a 2d8.
All right. There we go.
10. Ooh, what are the special effects of this divine smite? It's radiant damage. So the thing erupts in fire, and then after the fire, and even after the hit, it's like your deity itself focused on the wound, and there's this searing flash of lights. And you could just tell the whole thing lurches forward, stumbles, places a foot on the ground, and then is just able to straighten itself up. It is looking incredibly weak, but it is still hanging on. It is Pele's turn. Pele, huh?
Lucky.
Pele says to himself, I got this strange feeling on the back of my throat. I don't know what it is, but it's something that tastes like an Alka-Seltzer. And I'm going to be the one that rolls the one for him.
So hard.
See what happens. No, and he chases it down and he feels fine. So instead, he decides to bolt. 5, 10. Ooh, he doesn't have a good shot. 15, 20, 25. 30. Let me try again. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. No, he tries to get a good shot. He gets a little bit in front of Zancorin and can't seem to line up a really good shot. He's going to have to try to fire over Rampuri, which he can see really well. There's a bright pink light everywhere. So he's going to aim, look at a crossbow. And let me pull up Lucky. So I can do... Where is he? Do the rolling. And I say to him, maybe you've been lucky before, but there are several types of luck, depending on which side of the fence you're on. And then he fires Lucky the crossbow. I don't know. I just made that up.
Very good.
It's very much him.
14. The first shot fires over Rampuri's bright pink aura. Strikes into the forehead of the thick forehead of the owlbear. Sinks in about 75%, and you see the owlbear collapse on the ground. Silent, no longer moving. I told you you all just needed my help. You can't do anything without me. As he takes credit for everything.
Go back to sleep.
And the owlbear is destroyed. Rampuri is still glowing pink.
I take a look to see if are there any tracks. The owlbear, is there a lair nearby?
Owlbears are, you're more familiar with owlbears because being in the forest, so you know that they are just large monsters that are very beast-like. They will chase after people and hunt them down, or any sort of prey. But they're generally very independent, except for when they're breeding, like a mama bear with its cubs. And breeding season isn't quite yet, and you could check if it's a male or a female, but you're assuming it's probably hunting alone, as it's their normal way of living. But you do look on the ground. Go ahead and roll a survival check.
$17.
17. Okay. You need Rampuri to come with you a little bit, or another source of light, because you can see, it a little bit. But certainly the attack run that was in is showing just one owlbear. You know that they do not normally hunt in groups. They're very independent. So you're not necessarily thinking there's anything else around. But if you do want to look further, you're going to have to light a torch, or have Rampuri come with you and search around for basically the remaining 45 seconds that he will be glowing.
I mean,
in order to see stuff.
Do owlbears have nests?
Actually, no. Light lasts a while, doesn't it?
Lasts
It's like
10
an hour.
minutes.
Oh yeah.
I think you're right. Actually, I think it's an hour.
Yeah. Okay, so he's lit up until you choose him not to be.
So is he like?
Yeah, it's totally on the clapper at this point. So, do you want to follow him around and as a glowing pink person and try to see what's going on, or what's the plan?
I'm sorry. I'm not sure what's going on.
He is
asking me something, or
Rocky wants to see if there were more of them, if they came from a lair or there was more than one, and he wants to track the prints, which he's adept at, but it's dark, so he needs a source of light. And you coincidentally are glowing, and he is asking if you want to go with him.
It's not a big deal. It's not a very big deal. Let's get some sleep.
I don't understand what he's asking me.
Don't worry about it. Turn off the light. Let's. Are they edible? Can we use them for rations?
Most things are edible. Yeah, I mean, you could chop it up.
Some owl bear jerky.
I could probably cook something up with that owl bear. I've got my mess kit, and
I love owlbear. It tastes like chicken.
At least the top half does. The bottom half's a little bit more like venison. You can. I mean, it's the middle of the night. It's not the middle of the night. This happened around 10 o'clock. Most of you guys can still get a good night's rest in. Certainly, Condra needing only 4 hours would be able to do that. You can chop it up in the morning if you want. Spend a couple of hours doing that and take some with you. Maybe cook part of it up for breakfast, or you can spend time tonight doing it. Up to you.
No, I'd rather get some sleep, but I just want to make sure we can. I don't want to bring it in and have that filet mignon kind of owlbear section.
All right. So are you guys going to try to drag it towards the middle of camp?
Well, we can just cut it. We can cut the good piece out of the middle of it or whatever, and just bring that.
All right. Well, Zan Corin is a very good cook. He knows how to butcher just about anything.
I like to drag it to the middle of camp, because leaving a dead animal right outside will just attract other predators.
Right.
Is it better to attract him to the middle of camp?
Yeah, leave it outside.
All right. Okay, so you guys leave it outside for the rest of the night. Anyone else staying on watch?
I'm studying. I'm studying.
Okay. I wish Zoom worked as well as being in person. You want to study. Do you have a source of light besides Rampuri?
No, I'm just gonna like go next to Rampuri and study. Why not?
All right, so
before I go to bed or before my next watch, I think we should have a fire, because most of us can't see in the dark, and the owlbear already saw us whether beacon or not. So I think fire is a better idea. And yeah, that's actually it. That just we should have a fire.
Yeah, I agree. I can't really do a watch without the fire, so.
That'll be better than having to stay next to the monk, so let's do a fire.
all right. So you guys light up a little fire in the middle of the camp. It gives you 20 to 30 feet radius, that you can see out a little bit better than you could before. As you guys are all around the campfire a bit. Maybe not as spread out before. Staying a little closer to each other to make sure if something happens, you can wake each other up. Who's on the next set of watch? Rocky, and who else?
If I took a watch, would I still get in a long rest? Or is there still time to get a long rest in?
Yeah, you can take the only ones that really can't take another watch are Tatiana, because she's already taken one. Condra can take another watch, but then she wouldn't be able to study as well. She only needs 4 hours of sleep, so that's why she can do double watch if you guys needed that to happen.
Well, I'm happy to take a watch, but I'm also injured, and so it feels like, I just want to make sure I'm not shooting myself in the foot. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can. You can stay and watch for a little bit, and then as long as you guys try to sleep in a little bit, you guys should still be able to get a good night's rest.
Okay, cool.
So who's on watch? Rocky, anyone else? Rampuri? Okay, go ahead and roll perception checks.
By the way, do I have, since I only used an arrow, do I have like another arrow's worth of that substance? Or is it all gone?
I think you used both doses, didn't you?
Yes, I'm just saying whether, but I used those, the first one on a sword. This is just on an arrow. It's just the tip of an arrow. Does it take a full?
No, it takes both of them. The way that you apply them, you just get a single chance of using that.
So perception?
Perception, yeah.
Yo, Lev.
11.
18.
18. All right. You guys are keeping eye out for anything. Every crack of a twig, every rustle in the leaves kind of jerks your attention around because, well, you just had to fight an owl bear. But the night progresses uneventfully from here on out. And you guys, I'm just going to do 2 watches instead of 3 just for expediency's sake. You guys go to sleep. You get the rest of your full rest. Khandra, everyone else was going to sleep. You wanted to study for a little bit. How are you going to study? How do you have light? Oh, you got the fireplace. The fire's there. Perfect.
Fire.
Okay. So you crack open a book and you are staring at your spells, looking up at the dark sky where you see nothing, but that deep nothingness in the sky just allows you to focus on what you're thinking about. And then you realize that sometimes spells are effective, not because there's something there, but because there's nothing, a lot of nothing between any 2 things that you always think there's stuff, space. Then you realize that space is mostly nothing. And that's how you can extend your spells. The one that you haven't been able to cast, you've been trying to manipulate the material plane. And then you realize, no, it's the gaps in the material plane is how I cast these. And suddenly, a lot of things begin to make sense.
So many things.
So many things. And as the sun comes up in the morning, you're feeling like, I got this. Girl, I got this. And you level up. Level 2.
Hey, Mandy.
Yay, Khandra!
Congratulations.
Jeez.
Finally.
That feels good. Yeah.
So, as the sun rises again, very similar morning to just how we started this episode. But this time, you're camping, and there is the carcass of an owlbear in the corner. Zancorin, are you doing anything with that carcass?
Yes, I'm gonna make some owlbear meat breakfast.
All right. So you head over to it. You've got some cooking skills, but what check should we have you roll to see how well you can butcher this strange thing?
I'll be like, Rocky, just make sure I'm doing this right. I wanna cut here and here and here, right? Just make sure.
Well, your chef background lets you know how to
Okay.
butcher anything.
Okay.
You know, you cut at the joints. I butchered a few things. No people, at least not proven. Yeah, so you're like, okay, I know there's a good amount of meat on these arms. I know that'll be easy to get to and not a whole lot of butchering to do, probably easy to skin. So you're like deciding what parts to do, and you take out you look at your dagger and you're like, and you look at the size of that thing and you're like, no, and then you reach out your rapier and then you just start hacking away at it. Go ahead and roll. What should we have you roll? Hey, I gotta look at your features and traits.
So it says, at least it says here, when you make a charisma persuasion check or an ability check involving brewer supplies or cook's utensils, and then I can do something. So it's an ability check.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say that you haven't usually used a rapier to butcher a beast. You've usually used chef's knives, so it's a little bit of a challenge for you using that. So go ahead and roll a straight dexterity check, but then add +4, the
D4.
D4 to that as well.
All right. So okay, and then plus D4. So 17 total.
17 total. So in just like 20 minutes, you've carved up enough of it to be able to cook some fresh meat on the fire, and the rest of you guys awake to this absolutely delicious smell. You've gathered a few herbs that, some of which when you gathered herbs the other day to bring Tanri around, you tucked in your pocket to make sure, hey, just in case I got to cook something, I always want to have a little bit of rosemary. So you cook up this absolutely delicious smelling breakfast that's cooking up in your pans. Everyone wakes up, gets a good meal. You can, if you have a place that you can wrap some of this up, you can sort of wrap it up in its own fur, in its own hide, taking meat for enough meal, something to eat at the end of the day, cook up a little barbecue dinner. And you can take that with you. So nobody has to go through their rations for today, because then Corin has cooked up a meal based off of your latest killing. And you guys, I'm assuming, pack up and continue down the trail on day 2 of your journey.
And we should do a long rest from our...
Yes, everyone hit the long rest button. If you're Chandra, do the level me up buttons. You've already done it once. It was just ahead of time. So do it again.
Yeah. Did it again. I'm now level 2, and I have chosen my subclass.
Oh, nice. What's your... Are you going to share that? You don't have to. You can share it later. Or not at all.
I'll share it next time.
All right. Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. So you guys have made it out of a town that was pretty interesting at first, but then, Droopy just brought it all down with his bureaucracy. But you hightailed out of town. You're heading down the road to what you've been given directions. You should run into it halfway through this day, depending on your pace. Obviously, we're going to take a break for and pick this up next time, but that's what we have to look forward to. So you've got another half a day as you are making a trek across the Fen Trail, headed towards Fing. The day again, overcast, a little bit windy, but not too bad. And you guys have had all the protein you need for a day, given just a protein-rich meal. And that is where we will end. So if anyone guessed turkey bacon, food or lie, it's totally a lie. Turkey bacon. That's just crap.
Owlbear bacon, on the other hand.
Owlbear bacon's a real thing.
Delicious.
So get yourself some owlbear bacon.
It's what's for dinner.
I pretty much think that you need a butt in order to have bacon, or a belly. I think you need a belly to have bacon.
Belly.
I think that's where they cut it from. And turkey's just not enough belly. It's like breast, and that's about it. So no bacon. It's just a lie. So that's the answer to that question.
I'm level 2.
Level 2. So
it took so long.
Huh?
It just took so long.
It's
just such a beautiful day.
You forgot one last time that when you could have studied and you forgot to. So
yeah,
it was an expensive loss as far as that was concerned.
It was.
Yeah, so, is what it is. So you guys are back out on the Fendel Trail as when we come back next week. And that is where we will leave off. So thank you for joining us. And the more you roll.
The more you roll.
The more you roll.
Bye, everyone.
Roll.
Bye. And that is it.